Well, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, and good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Welcome to another episode of The Morning Glow. Got a great broadcast lineup for you this morning, as I hope and I pray that we always do. I'm not important, just a question asker. My name is Raheen Ajume, but we have some people here that are very, very important. As a matter of fact, we already have my brother Ibrahim. Ibrahim, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. Assalamu alaikum.
Well, Alaikum Assalam, brother. How you doing?
All right. How's my family doing today?
Hey, doing good, doing good. Good to have you. Good to have you, brother. We got a couple of things we want to talk about today. I got a topic we're going to get to a little later on in the broadcast. But right now, man, how was your weekend?
Oh, it was eventful, but I lived through it. That's all I
Eventful.
got to tell man.
Oh man, that's
Yeah, eventful, but I lived good.
that's it. That
It was
sound.
cold. How about that?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yeah. I'm gonna tell you what I did over the weekend, man. And people tell me I'm crazy when I do this, man, but I just love doing it, man. Cold as it was, um, man, I went fishing. Went fishing that morning. So,
Mm,
yeah, it was cold out there,
that's a good
man.
time for picture.
Yeah. I want Ibrahim, you talking directly to your phone. It's just a little bit low.
Oh yeah, I'm talking directly
Okay,
on
good, good, good. There we go.
my headset. I
Yeah,
don't know if
that's
it's
much better.
good.
Yeah, that's much better, man. I went out there, man. It was cold as a dickens, man, and stayed out there for a while, man. It wasn't a good fishing day. And I'm gonna tell you something. A lot of them old myths that people say, man, they're absolutely true. And I'm gonna tell you why I say that. I was going to
Right.
fish. I was on my way to the spot where I could get my bait and stuff like that, man, and my minnows. Cause I was going crappie fishing. And the way that I go, there's a cow field to my right as to my left as I'm going there. And I looked over at that
Right.
cow. I looked over at that cow field, Ibrahim, and all the cows were sitting down. All
Right.
the
Right. Right.
all the cows were sitting down. And I don't know if you know a lot about fishing, man. You probably
Oh
do.
yeah. Yeah.
But
Okay. But no, I thought the myth about cows listed down. Let's go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, man, they all the cows were sitting down, and they said, and people always tell me, if you're going somewhere, man, if you see some cows when you're on your way fishing, if all of them sitting down, don't go that day. That's a bad day to go. And I said, well, I looked over there at the cows, all of them was sitting down. I said, okay, well, I'm gonna test this myth today. I'm already out here, so I'm going fishing.
Uh,
Man, there's some truth in that, brother.
ah, you didn't catch cold. Did you? You didn't catch nothing.
I caught just what you said, a cold, brother. Outside of that, man, look, old folks know what they talking
Yeah.
about, man. Old folks,
Yeah. 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 Usually when they do that, means frost or it's gonna rain or something. They keep them warm, dry spot.
mm-hmm.
They say that. And then when you tell the way the wind blowing, cause they had their nose in the wind. You
Wow.
know what I mean? Or
Mm-hmm.
the tail. I forget which one. But those are one of those things that people from experience. You pick up.
Man,
Yeah,
listen,
that's funny. That's funny. I thought you might have caught some when it warmed up that day. They get hungry.
man,
They
listen.
start snapping. I guess they decided.
Ibrahim, I'm gonna tell you something, brother. I ain't caught nothing, man. I ain't caught. I was out there, man. I was out there.
Ah,
I was out there. I say I'm gonna test it for a while. I went different places. I went to spots where because I've been to this pond many times, so I know where the fish are and where they're biting most of the time. And so I went to all my little honey spots, and all my little honey spots, man. I wasn't even getting a bite. I was like, man, what is going on? I went around, throwing out there. I said, okay, this spot here I caught blah 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 here. Went on out there, man.
uh,
Hit a perfect spot. Bam. It's
uh,
just it sit
uh,
it sit there, man. It just sit there.
uh,
And then so what I did, I said, well, look, maybe I'm not fishing deep enough. So I
uh,
adjusted all my stuff. I adjusted, went deeper, 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 deeper. And man, they just wasn't biting, man. That old saying, if the cow sit down, don't go fishing, stay your behind at home. That's
okay.
true. That is so true.
Yeah. Oh,
Hmm.
okay. I remember that, man.
Yes,
I
sir.
know I went fishing one time. I caught a fish, and a lady said, "They said, well, throw that thing back. That fish too small, right?" I said, "Well, it look good enough to eat. Big enough. I thought, cooked and everything. It
Hmm.
smells good. She said, "You'll never catch another fish."
Wow.
Guess what? I ain't never caught another fish. I
Wow.
don't
Wow.
care what condition, where I
Hmm.
go. All I do is just sit out there and just toss it, just sit back and enjoy the scenery, and the weather,
And see, that's what it is, man. And that's what it is, man. It's so being out there, man. Even in the cold, like it was the other night, other day. I say other night, other
uh,
day. It's just so relaxing, just being out there, man. Yeah, I was cold. I wasn't catching anything, but just being out there, like I said, watching the scene, watching the animals and stuff like that, man. And of course, there's a lot of ducks out there, watching them interact, man, and how they all up in the water and diving in the water as cold as it is. They don't have no cold gene, I guess. So they didn't care about none of that, man. So it was
Yeah,
a good
about
day.
that.
It was a good day. Rico,
What's happening, man?
good morning. How you doing this morning?
Man, I can't complain, man. I'm just happy to see another beautiful new day, man. Blessed to see another.
There you go. There you go. I see you at the house right now. You ain't walking this morning?
Man, you see how cold it is out there, man. I ain't finna get no pneumonia, man. I mean, you can feel it in your lungs sometimes.
Yeah.
It ain't good to get a whole lot of that area in your lungs.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I was telling Ibrahim, man. I went fishing over the weekend, man. Early in the morning, I went fishing, and it was cold as the dickens. Wasn't catching nothing, man. But I tested the myth because I was telling Ibrahim just now. Old folks say all the time that if you go on fishing and you go past a cow field, look at the cows. If all of them cows are sitting down, don't go because it's not a good day. You're not gonna catch anything, and that's true. Man, I got this little honey hole I go to, and I know where the fish are because I've been fishing out there so long. I know where they are and pretty much where they're gonna bite. Man, I went to all my little money spots, man. In that pond, didn't even get a bite, brother. Didn't even get a bite. I like, man, there must be some truth in that, man. So next time I'm ready to go fishing, I don't care who I'm going with. If I look at that cow field and them cows sitting down, I'm turning around, go home, and call Licky, man, ain't gonna make it, man. They ain't gonna be biting today, brother. For me, no.
All living things do some act a certain type of way depending on the weather. That's just automatic, you know what I'm saying? And so that goes back to some of the ancestors, that
Yes, sir.
learned to survive and they observed. They didn't have too many distractions, so they had enough time to observe animals' behavior and say, well, when they point in this direction, this and that, or when they're doing this, there's a storm coming. When they fly south, it's getting cold. You get expect cold. So many different things that people had to pay attention to that got us to this point that right now, a lot of people don't even pay attention to stuff like that. They do too distracted and all kind of other material things. So every animal, every living thing, plants, trees,
exactly.
Everything does something and reacts and when weather turns to a certain way. So that's true. That's what you said. It ain't a myth, it's true.
Exactly. And see, Rico, you just said something, man. I want to go to Ibrahim on this as well. The whole earth, if we pay attention, it talks to us, man, in so many different ways, man, that we don't even pay attention to it. It talks to us and it tells us stuff. It really tells a story. But like you said, with the trees, the way the trees lean, all that means something, man. Everything means something. But we just so busy, and then we so busy doing nothing, or think we so busy, we won't even pay attention to it, man. Like when you be saying you be going out there, you be watching the animals and stuff like that, man, and all that means something. It does.
And even something as simple. I mean, when you rake leaves, do you understand that they falling off trees for a reason?
Absolutely.
I mean, some people just raking leaves or just stepping on them. They don't really think about the fact. They take it for granted, but really don't understand that was a thought process that mankind had to realize at one point in time that was another cause and effect of living.
Exactly.
And so on. Yeah, man, it's a lot of things that we don't pay attention to, but some of us do sit back and take the time to pay attention to the smaller things and understand just how important it is or what it really means to the bigger picture.
Exactly. Ibrahim, what do you say to that, man? Everything means something. Everything has a meaning, but we just so busy or think we so busy we won't pay attention.
Yeah, exactly. I think we talked about it a long time ago. I was talking about our signs of nature, and it says in the Quran and everything and stuff like that. A lot of other different books, But like I know when I was coming up, people say, well, the horse got real thick fur this year. That means it's gonna be a real cold winter. It's gonna snow, or the bark on the tree. Tree got extra bark. If you tap maple or something like that, right? That means it's gonna be a cold winter. And or you can look at the tree ring, see how the winter's fared. You know what I mean? But a lot of them prepared themselves for a winter or whatever, a rain or fire or anything, before it even happened. You know what I'm saying? So they could survive. The animal breed. I pay a lot of attention to that because down here in Georgia, I just have to live down there where there used to be a lot of deer, and you could even tell when they're molting and the birds and everything. Man, I was talking to some people the other day. I've been talking to people the last month and said, where all the birds done gone? I mean, it's just like years ago. Where we were talking to somebody yesterday about the peaches. They were asking me, say, Georgia's a peace state, but I hear South Carolina, blah blah blah. I said, well, they had peace blight, and I talk to people that was born and raised in Florida, and they remember that. You used to come up 27, the Florida Turnpike. As far as I can see, all you see is peach groves and grapefruit trees.
Mm-hmm.
Now you see is condos and condominiums and stand and stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing in Georgia. You don't see. I used to be a lot of pecan trees up around Atlanta and fruit trees. And all. Where are they? Where they gone? Berries.
Mm-hmm.
You know, every bush had a berry somewhere. You see some wild bushes. You guarantee you got some berries. So yeah, nature speaks there. So it tells us something. But for people to comprehend, is beyond our understanding now, because we're so busy thinking how smart we are and how advanced we are and how we can do this, do that. But we fail to even look at things. The animals, like Atlanta. I know you live in Atlanta. You know how a lot of animals disappeared, but a lot of carnivorous animals moved in. Bears moved in on the north side of town.
Yeah.
Yeah, shorty bears everywhere. And then you had raccoons down the south side. You don't see any snakes or anything, but you see a lot of other coyotes, for God's sake. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where do they come from? It's like they come in for a feast. Everything looking for a feast, right? Everything else that's part of the feast, they gone. So what that leave? What leave that leave you think? So it's messages that we should be paying attention to. We just tend to ignore. I want to ignore for one reason or another.
Is that? And you said about coyotes, man. I was my wife and I, she was in the bed. And I was looking out the window one night, man. It had to be about 10:30, something like that at night. And I saw this old coyote, man. He actually ran through the yard. And he ran through the yard. He stopped for a minute. He looked outside. I said, baby, come here. And she's like, what? I said, come here. She got up and she came to the window. I said, look at that coyote. It was a big coyote, man. And I'm surprised. Most of the time it'd be 2 or 3 of them together. But he was that joker was by himself. But he was right there in our yard, man. I was like, man, and we, deer always in our yard, man. We ain't even worried about that. But let me go to Mr. Hicks. Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem family. Doing fine. Pray everybody's doing fine.
Yes, sir. We're talking about the earth, man, and how the animals and everything on it, and the earth, the trees, and all that stuff, the water and all. It says something to us, Mr. Hicks. So why do we appear or try to make ourselves out where we so busy we can't understand or are not listening to what the earth is saying to us, or the animals, if you will?
Well, I guess. Go ahead.
I'm gonna tell you why I say that too, because I went fishing as cold as it was over the weekend. I went fishing and I was going on my way to get my tackle, get my my bait and minnows and stuff to go fishing with, and there was a cow field over to my left as I was going, and all those cows were sitting down. And old people always say, if you're going fishing and the cows sit down, it's not a good day. Don't go. You waste your time. And man, I've been to this pond a million times, man. And I know the pond. I know where the fish are in the pond. I just know this pond. I went to all the spots, fish different depths. I said, man, maybe I'm not fishing deep enough. Went deeper. Charles was fishing right there on the bottom, man. I didn't even get a bite. Man. And I said, it must be some truth in that story about them doggone cows sitting down in that field, man. So why the earth, it talks, and like Rico said, man, it talks to us, man. Everything talks to us, like the water and all this stuff talk to us, the trees. Why don't we listen? Or why we're not paying attention in this day and time?
There seems to be a disconnect between the natural and the secular. I think it was done intentionally. I was doing some reading recently about Copernicus and the heliocentric just the whole drama about making this decision to as a theory to establish this. I mean, I guess now we can say that it's proven because we got pictures, right? But the pictures they say aren't actual pictures. So there's a disconnect. There's a disconnect between what's natural and what's been formulated by man. Just when they say constructs, things like a construct and all that different language coming in, I guess I had that, when I was little, I had that feeling in nature. It was a connection to it. I mean, when I was little, a little bitty boy, 3 or 4 years, walking in Alabama down there, near the Florida line in the sand, and there was like something something I had then that I don't have now. I'm trying to reestablish. Like the farther you get away from your youth, from your innocence, the more detached you are from natural things. Because the world around us is telling us to do unnatural things. It's telling us, but it's who was the scientist? The scientist. I should notice it. The scientist in Tuskegee. The scientist there.
George Washington Carver.
Thank you, George Washington Carver. I always get it mixed up with Booker T. Washington. Yes, George Washington Carver. It said that he got all of his information, all of his ideas from walking in nature. Yeah. He said he had ability where the plants spoke to them, and a lot of indigenous cultures say the plants talk to them and tell them which plant. But going back to the cows sitting down in the thing, right? Check this. Think about this here, because it's a belief, right? Because this belief is probably hundreds of years old.
Yes.
You walked out, you saw the cows sitting down in the back of your mind. So, oh man, I remember the old folks said, ain't nothing biting the day. And metaphysically, it say that you set yourself up what you experience based off your belief, based off what people had told you. So it's a quantum about our mental states and how it affects the reality as we see it, our perception. That's the thing. Even we see real clear on our podcast. Everyone is viewing things from a different perspective. No one view is more valid than the other one. It's just a perception. And when you can add that with me, when you can add that into how you're looking at things, let me see if what I just heard here changed what I was sort of standing on, and be flexible enough to say, okay, that makes sense. I'm gonna make a little tweak my philosophy, tweak it a little bit off what you're getting from people,
exactly,
from nature.
Eat the meat and spit out the bone.
There you go.
And see, even with what you said, man, I love what you said there, man, because the mind is so powerful, man. People don't understand how powerful the mind is, man. And people, man, I'm a weird fella. I'm gonna show you how weird I am sometime, man. I really believe. So people say, man, ain't no way that's gonna happen, man, because the laws of the land and blah blah blah. But I think the mind is so powerful that it can make. I'm not gonna sit here and say it'll make you fly around like Superman fly, but I think that you can free your mind to a point where you can make yourself levitate off the ground.
Oh yeah, I've seen it. I've seen people do it.
Come on, man. I ain't never seen that number.
I've seen
all of Alabama.
I've seen martial arts defeat opponent without even touching him. Just with the energy, just whatever he was connected to. I think like Benny Hinn and a lot of those evangelists. I think they're equipped in mind techniques, and they have they set the music a certain way. They set the stage a certain way. They get people to believe a certain way, and they believe because they've seen everybody else fall down. It's a magic. It's a magic. Whether and he waved his coat and everybody fall down.
I think I seen something like that. Let me go to Brother Pete. Brother Pete, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, family. How y'all doing this morning?
Hey, doing good. Good to have you, brother. Asking a question, and you've been listening to us for a minute, so I think you know where we are. But why do we feel as though we're so busy that we can't listen to the natural, listen to nature, if you will? Why do we feel as though we can't listen to nature? We're so busy. Why?
Exactly that reason, because we're too occupied with the rat race mentality of modernization and modern civilization and existing in the rat race world. When you had to go out to gather wood, to build the fire, to take the time to build the fire, to make sure the fire was going, to prepare your food, to watch it, to cook it on the fire, you can have nothing but time and the ability to operate, exist with, and listen to nature and what was real, what was actively alive in the world, the elements, right? But when I can go to a brick, wooden, concrete structure, it shields me off.
Mm-hmm.
But I can turn the water on at a faucet rather than having to go down to the creek or the well or somewhere and gather it and bring it back, touch it, feel it, capture it, right? Engage it in some type of object to capture it and then bring it back home.
Mm-hmm.
There's no long-term interaction, and then your perception of the elements. I use it to cook. I use it to wash up. I use it to refresh myself, remove some waste. That's it.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have no bigger purpose for it. You don't even think about capturing rainwater and how you can use rainwater straight out the gutter. We don't think about that.
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
We don't think about capturing the leaves and what we can use the leaves for. That the foliage falls to the ground and feeds the ground. I don't grow nothing. I don't grow any garden. I don't have a garden.
Mm-hmm.
I barely have grass. So what do I care about that?
Mm-hmm.
I'm paying somebody. It's a bill. I got to pay somebody to come cut this stuff every 2. Look at your mentality.
Mm-hmm.
Because I got to get to work.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? You ain't got to go out and gather the wood to make the fire, to watch the fire, to cook the food. You come home, turn on the light switch, lock the door, take off your shoes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Clap your hands or something, the light come on. Speak and say, stove now cook. Stove is now heating and preparing to cook this meal for you. You know, you got a microwave dinner or something. Throw in the microwave, 5 minutes, you sitting down eating dinner. Boom, 2 minutes later, you sitting down watching TV. 45 minutes after that, hopefully you took a bath, brushed your teeth, you back in bed.
Mm-hmm.
What happened to engaging the elements out here in our very existence? So a lot of these modernization creations that seem to make life easy, they told us that the smartphone would make life easy. They told you that the computer would make life easy. It's made life harder in a lot of ways, and it's made us less remembering of common things than how we used to be. So is it better or worse?
I say worse. I
Care how to
definitely
remember
say,
your name or your number.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, is it better or worse? So that's why it's the modernization of the rat race mentality that the modern civilization has positioned humanity into to exist.
Exactly.
So the more primitive and poor you are, the more connected you are to what's real. And and that causes you to calm down, slow down, to have to give appreciation for basic things because it's ever present and necessary and of high value because of the struggle, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you can just go in a house, turn on the air conditioner, turn on the heat, you know what you really care about electricity. It's just there. You just know it's there. It's not really nothing you even think about until it's off. Oh, what happened? You didn't pay the bill?
Yeah.
Come on.
Exactly.
No, the grid went down. Ain't no more grid. Now figure it out. Uh-oh.
A lot of people be lost, brother.
Country would die.
A lot of people be lost.
Dead in 90 days if we went back primitive. For real. Half of this country would be dead in 90 days.
Yeah.
If we went back primitive.
Exactly. Exactly. Don't know how to survive. Can't survive. Rico, and he said a lot there, brother. I saw you smiling a couple of times. What's on your heart?
Yeah, man. That's why people loading up on ammunition. Because of that fear factor. But see, this is like, convenience was supposed to make things easier, but what it also did was it distracted people, kept people from focusing on what was most important, appreciating what got us to this point, and it also made us mentally and physically lazy. That's to me that's what the definition of convenience is. When it makes it convenient, some people say it make it easy, but I come up in the 70s, you know what I'm saying? I always figured out that the easy way was the lazy way, the quick way, you know what I'm saying? And so you start thinking about the natural, which sometimes you can't deny. You know, when you said that about the cows laying down, sometimes you can't deny it. But then sometimes we can actually go too far and lose our balance on going against what's natural. Because I think to a certain extent, you were saying, you know what, man? I know this spot, though.
Yeah.
They gonna bite today. I'm gonna go on out here. I know it's cold, but I got a feeling today I'm gonna go ahead and get it. I don't know nothing about all that old cow sitting down stuff, even though I do realize it. Now, some people might say, well, you speak it into existence, and that's the way it happened. But see, that's the way it's been happening for 1,000 years. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes we might go too far in having confidence in us being able to physically speak it into existence, but we'll make ourselves believe that I'm gonna make this thing work. But guess what we have to do? We have to manipulate the fish.
Yeah. Yeah.
We got to mind screw them, just like you have to mind screw people into believing that, you know what, it might be all right for me to go up here and get this bait.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't as cold as I thought it was. Let me go against the grain. So you have to manipulate people's conditions to get them to stop accepting the natural and to get out of order. See, those fish would be out of order if they started biting when it's this cold.
But you know what? What I could have did, Rico, I'm gonna tell you what I could have did, man. I could have caught all the fish I wanted to if I had just one stick of dynamite and throw it in and light and throw it in that doggone water. Man, I just scoop all the fish I want and go on back home.
You can manipulate the situation. You know what I'm saying? Go against the grain.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But it's still, you know, it still doesn't take away from the fact that naturally, if you didn't have all these extra things to manipulate the situation to fit what you said, I told you I was gonna catch some fish. I don't care about them cow laying down. I got some fish.
Yeah.
You use dynamite. Or you know what I'm saying? Or you use some little contraption, you know what I'm saying, to when you put the bait out there in the water, you know what I'm saying, to make the fish think it was warm.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, so you know, that to me, I mean, man, it's funny that you bring that we're going in this direction, because I don't know. I was thinking this morning, man, you know, I don't think people realize it or not, but we so caught up in systems and institutions. The rat race, like Pete said, you know, I bring that up all the time, that rat race. That's a term that people don't even realize what the term is. If you say it, they're like, what is that? You got people my age. I'm 50 years old.
Yeah.
You got people my age. If you bring up rat race, they don't know nothing about it. I'm like, wow. You don't understand. You don't understand what you're living in. You don't understand your existence. And, you know, I started thinking, the Supreme Creator, well, I mean, you know, this is going to be hard for some people to want to accept. But our existence through the Supreme Creator is pretty much the same existence as we have in creating characters in video games. You could design them and put a name on them and look and put them around and make them do like the Sims or control them, and they don't know it. Now, they might not have a conscience, but I noticed that sometimes you'll see people that look exactly the same, but they ain't related. Got the same name. I think I shared. I'm gonna send it to you in a minute. This video, these two pictures that they found got the same name, same age. The only difference is they got different color eyes. They look identical. Both of them pictures in baseball. Seem like they had lived parallel lives. And it's just, you know, it's funny how it seemed like they were designed, and then they just happened to cross paths in the game, in the matrix together, when it probably wasn't designed for them to, you know what I'm saying? It's that string, I guess the string theory thing, you know, how people could think about the same thing on two different sides of the planet or whatever, just how so many things can be connected. But man, if you're not paying attention, this thing might be a lot more simple, but at the same time, a lot more complicated than we think.
Exactly. I see Mr. Hicks over there. He's smiling, man. I gotta go to him, brother. What's on your heart? Can't hear you. You muted. Can't hear you.
See, you can tell, I can tell you can tell my age when I start working this modern technology. My grandkids, Pop, that ain't how you do it.
That ain't right.
Yeah, let me show you. It's I think the thing about nature, when you talk about fishing, right? I remember when I only fished when I was young. When I guess about 8, 9 years old, I always go with my granddad and my uncles. There's a drive way out. You could almost smell when you get in the woods. You could smell the life. It'd be a funk kind of thing, right? And they would fish. My uncles, they would talk. Fishing was really a talking thing, a thinking game, a thinking thing. A lot of quietness, reflecting. But I guess here's a perfect example. In one of the Godfather movies, one of the guys, Michael Corleone's brother, at the killing scene, he went out to the fish and he told his little nephew, he said he says Hail Marys, and it causes him to catch fish. Now, I think from everything I could gather with fishing as an art, fishing is a connection to the to nature.
Yes,
because
absolutely.
because I mean I've sat right next to people fishing. Man, they was pulling the fish coming and I'm right next to them, right?
Yeah.
And I ain't catching no fish.
Mm-hmm.
But I never thought about it then, but look back in retrospect, I didn't believe I was going to catch fish.
Yeah.
You know, when I first got there, deep down, it's always that thing, I don't never catch fish.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That
doubt. And I think it predisposes you, your intention, Nia, they call it in Arabic, your Nia, your intention in life, intention on things. I think when I talk about the liberty that we given by the Creator, is that we got this brain that operates out this mind that is so powerful that more powerful than we can know. They distract the society, the world, distract us in so many different things: politics, economics, the rent, the car note. There's so many things happening that it distract you from the truth, truth of what you're living. That you're living. That you're a conqueror. You're a victor. You're a warrior. You can win this battle. Whatever it is in front of you, whatever the hardship, you have the part. He didn't leave. The Creator didn't leave us. He didn't abandon. He didn't leave us unprepared. It's just a matter of aligning ourselves to our heart. The thing you say.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That's good. That's good. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
Well, I mean, sitting thinking, I'm good. When I was talking about that, I saw pictures right there in my head. You know, that's how the mind works. I remember my granddad, man. I remember how being open to the world and not having any kind of, no worries about anything, just absorbing and learning from the grown folks around you. And they don't know you watching them. Children watch you so intently. And most of our adults, urban wise, city wise, they don't have that connection to the earth of a farmer that plants a seed and harvests it. Because my grandfather had a peanut farm. I thought he owned the farm, but he was really what they call it. He was sharecropping. He's working and he was getting paid a thing. It really, when I said, man, this ain't his land. That ain't our land. No, that's sharecropping. But I think when you're around people that's connected to nature. I mean, walk in the park. I mean, to me, just walk. When I go, I haven't gone in a couple of days now, about a week. I got lazy, got cold. But walking around that lake, they got a beautiful lake up here in Anderson. It's with a lot of was Native American land. So they got all these landmarks writing about what happened here, what century when DeSoto came and all this stuff here. But it's just walking around in the open air. Sometimes when I think, I don't even know if I call it depressed. I just ask me, what is depression? I ask people say depression. I say, I don't know what depression is. Unless I've been depressed all my life. And I can't tell the difference, but when I get down, it's just like just going outside. Just take a breathe, just the nature, just have that ability, watching the water. Something about watching the waters, the still waters. It calms the soul. But I'm talking myself and getting up and go walk when we finish this thing this morning. I'm getting out there. I've been locked. I done locked myself up past week.
Exactly. And sometimes you gotta just get out there, man, and just the elements, man. That's another reason why I wanted to go fishing that day, man. I wanted to get out there, man, just to be out there, man. And I was out there for a while. Didn't even catch, man. Like I said, didn't even get a bite, man. I ain't even get a bite, but it was okay because I left. Really, honestly speaking, I left refreshed.
Yeah. The journey. It's like a vacation. Sometimes you think the destination is the whole thing to get to Jamaica, right? But when you look it over and think about it, it was the whole process. It was meeting the people that you met at the way and talking to the people because everybody's in a more relaxed mood, vacationing. It's the journey. It's the journey, not the goal.
Yeah, absolutely. Let me go to Joseph. Joseph, good morning, sir. How are you doing this morning?
Hey. Good morning, sir.
Ibrahim, hold on, brother. I'm coming. I know you're there, Ibrahim. I know you're there, brother. Hold on.
Ibrahim's the Pastor Mike, huh? Good morning, y'all. Good morning, family.
Good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Doing good.
We talking about
What's the question?
well, we talking about nature, and I told the story about I went fishing over the weekend, and there's this old saying that old folks always say, if you're going fishing and you go past a cow field, look at the cows, and if they're all sitting down, it's not a good day to go fishing. I wanted to buck that a little bit, man. I said, man, I'm going fishing. Like Rico said, man, I'm going fish. I know I'm gonna catch some fish. Man, I went out there, man. Look here, didn't even get a bite. I went to all my little spot down. I know this pond pretty good, man. I've been fishing it for a long time. I know where the fish sit. Man, I went to every little hot spot, ain't catch a bite. I changed my depths, all kind of things, did everything I thought I was supposed to do. Didn't even get a bite that day, man, because I did not pay attention. Then I look at Rico laughing at me. I didn't even pay attention.
Hey, hold on, before you get finished, I want to ask you, man. So you really tell me you use the same bait all day? You didn't have to change bait?
Man, they ain't have to. Man, listen, they ain't have to change, man.
Still wasted all your money.
Exactly, and that's what happened. They still, man, them baits still sit on my front porch right now, man. They still sitting out there on my front porch. Ain't catching not Nate fish, man, not Nate fish. But the thing about it, man, is, Joseph, I did not listen to the signs of nature. And so why is it that we in this day and time, we don't feel as though we need to listen to the signs of nature?
Wow, that's a good question, though, man. But there's a lot of signs in nature, and coming from Helena, Arkansas, but I guess many other people could say the same thing, because no matter where you live in the U.S., where Native Americans, left their imprint in terms of their wisdom. You would learn these things. I learned a lot from the elders in the Black community that they had learned from the Native Americans. My great grandfather was a Native American. He was one of the ones that didn't get, or his family. Some of his family got shipped in the Trail of Tears down the Mississippi River, but he adopted a Christian name and became a Christian and so on and so forth. I did a little study on him, but he used to catch fish. He used to fish in the tributaries of the Mississippi River. The man had my aunt tells me that he used to catch some of the biggest big bone buffalo fish, man, and would feed his family. But he knew the times to go out and fish, and he knew the times he wasn't, going to catch anything, and he knew about them signs. And it's amazing that you mentioned that about the cows, because they studied, like animals, bears and beavers and they studied nature in such a way, man, that they could figure out things that was just our eyes would miss. A regular person that ain't into nature. Now, I got a cousin. He must have adopted all them signs, because man, that boy can hunt, fish, and do everything. And I tell you, somebody else in the house may be hungry, but that fella there is never going to be hungry. Okay, he's gonna always have food. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Exactly.
He knows those signs, man. Yeah, he knows how to do that. But I love nature, man. I just love the relaxation. I just love nature, man. Being out there, without technology and all that stuff, without interference from people, and just observing God's beauty, man. Absolutely. It does something for the soul.
It really does. It really does. And one of the things that I love the most, man, and y'all know I love fish. Everybody that know me know I love fishing. But my thing is, man, to be able to go to the ocean and just just take in the power, man, the strength and everything from that ocean, man. There's so much tied up in that ocean, man. It's so much there. Ibrahim, what's on your heart, brother?
Yeah. Oh, okay. Oh yeah. It's kind of interesting how people viewed everything, right? But a lot of times we don't view nature itself. Like, you went out fishing for a reason, And but just like the guy was saying, that the other guy, he was saying about talking about his cousin, he went out there to eat. That's what he does, That's the way he lives. You know what I'm saying? And we don't understand. And I hope that brother grandfather Arkansas turned around great when he said the Native Americans gave it to him when he was a Native American, you know. But you know, like through Georgia, one thing I learned, I listened to what the people were saying, you know, what they would tell us when we went to the farm, right? And how they just like everything was so natural to them. They say, "Oh no, boy, don't do that, don't touch that." You know what I mean? Don't do this. You say, "Well, why I can't touch that? That's a tree, right?"
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's poison ivy.
Mhm.
You know,
Mhm.
it's through how you live and what you keep existing. You won't expect anybody to know about a farmland like in I would say like in Arizona and lived
Mhm.
in Georgia, right? You can't grow some of the same crops, or maybe you can, depending
Mhm.
on the sand, the sulfur, whatever, right? Tobacco, you can go tobacco someplace you just can't grow tobacco. Peach trees, someplace you just can't grow peach trees or fruit trees. Some places you can't grow a certain type of fruit tree or pecan. You know, people knew this by example. A long time ago, I was told that you can find gold by different type of trees that's around a certain area. That means there's some gold in there because of the probably the mineral of the soil, you know. And you know, stuff like that. I've seen people demonstrate that. Another thing that most of my life I drove refrigerated trucks, right? And my business depends on the farmer's harvest a lot of times, or animals and stuff. You know, certain times of year and watching the animals, where they take them and where they eat at, and different processes they use when they sell them and stuff like that, and the crops and blah blah blah. And you know that the thing is that we don't want to know nature, right? We want to look at nature as I don't know, as a picture.
Mhm.
But it's real. It's just like us, right? Our very body, every cell in our body speaks. It has a duty. It does something, and everything affects you. It's a thing that you don't hear too much people say. The flora fauna effect. I used to have arguments with people. They say, "Well, we're black because of the sun with melanated skin," and I say, "No, that's part of it. The flora fauna effect is the greatest part of our facial features. How the gaseous environment, the food that we eat. You know, the different minerals that we get from these different foods. That's the entire process. You know, I was called a loud bunch of times. People like to do the melanated thing. You know, I mean, you know, because they don't understand it, they just grab a part of it and they run with it, and that's all they need. But the whole process, our whole body, everything is related. Let's like say the oxygen film. You know, the trees produce clouds, and some trees produce clouds. You know, the very rain and moisture we get. All of them produce some type of oxygen or suck in nitrogen or produce nitrogen. All trees don't produce oxygen like we think they do.
Mhm.
So all plants don't. They do different. They have different parts of that process. You know what I mean? And so the unlearned mind or the unwilling mind to know why do you need to know these things, right? Like you said, you go outside, drive your car, you go out in the woods, you get some fresh air. Well, you might get a lot of pollen. You might get some monster. You might get some disease stuff out there. You might get bit by a disease mosquito. You know what I'm saying? But at different times of year, the plants know this. The animals know that. You can tell by different animals how they
Mhm.
react and respond to different places, where they run to and where they go to, right? And why animals are so fruitful here and not over here. You know, I mentioned the thing about the birds. I hear nobody brought that back, right? But the birds are a very important environment. They pollinate, they're moving the seeds and stuff like that. The
Mhm.
growth of trees, why the leaves fall. But better yet, every tree has fruit, and the fruit is the seed of the tree. And the tree produces other trees, right? And we know that the compost, the leaves of compost, and some other things, but leaves can be poisonous too. You
Mhm.
know, so you know, we make generalized things just about everything in the world. We generalize. We think it's a mind thing, right? You know, we're part of the process. Any thought or idea you can possibly have, somebody else is thinking at the same time. Any,
Mhm.
you know, whatever you into, you be surprised because I was thinking something. I've been talking about that all weekend about nature and plants and stuff with different people that were born and raised in Georgia or Boston and stuff like that. And you know, everybody come to the same clue. Wow, what happened? But it doesn't mean anything because they're going on their vacation. They're going to go see mama's house. They're going to go this, that. You know, wild turkeys. Like one thing I missed this weekend that I thought about so deeply was the rabbits. We had the first frost in a freezing Atlanta. Man, back when I was a kid, everybody, dad and grandpa, be out there shooting rabbits. You know, got down Stockbridge and every place like that, you know, rabbits. Why that? Because that's when the worm dies in the rabbit. I don't know if it's true, but obviously, you know, shot enough rabbits enough time, ate them different times a year. You figure the best time to eat them after the first frost, right? You know,
Mhm.
because you
Mhm.
die the other way. I
Mhm.
don't know.
Wow.
You know, certain
Wow.
plants.
Mhm. Good.
You know, I mean, everything.
It's a lot.
You know, I was born and raised in the city, but we just go out in the backyard. We knew what to eat, not to eat, what was good and what was not good, and what certain times you went to pick it. You know what I
Mhm.
mean?
Good.
And that was
Stay
just
right there.
naturally because.
Exactly. Stay right there, brother. We're gonna keep on. Don't you go. No, you stay right there. I'm gonna keep this thing rolling, man. Let me go to Pete, brother. Pete, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me. Pete, you there? Rico, talk to me, brother. Pete might have stepped away for a minute.
Yeah, I mean, it's been historical, man, that there's a season for everything. It's been historical that there's been trade across continents because certain things in certain places just didn't grow. I think they found maize and corn in parts of Africa that they couldn't grow corn and maize. So, they knew then that it was some trade going on between the Americas and South America. They knew that somebody was doing some seafaring, even though another culture came around and wanted to try to say that it wasn't no seafaring Africans or black people. But somewhere naturally, based off history and naturally what people found through archaeology and through studying history, how did these people get these things? How did they get these resources that didn't grow over here? How did they get these resources to the pyramids? So there's a season and time and a place for everything.
Yeah.
And that process is up to us to learn it and appreciate it, not take it for granted. But once again, we forget some of the most important things. I remember, I think it was a while back when I think Bishop or somebody said that everything was here for us to consume. And animals was meant for us to eat. And I was like, nah, I don't believe that. I don't think we supposed to just be here to consume, or just reap the benefits of what the earth produced, but not understand that we have a requirement to make sure that the earth continues to produce these things. Like the way we use oil.
Yeah,
I look at oil as the earth's lubricant. Now we know what oil does for a car's engine and how they transfer it into gas. We know what it does for a car, but I think about the friction of an earthquake and how we've been having all these high magnitude earthquakes lately. And they say, and it's pretty much been said that the earth is being, sort of dilapidated of its oil. It's been, we overusing it, not just as far as the affecting in the climate, but as far as what the earth needs. We're using more than she's producing. So
Rico, with that being said, Rico, do you think there's a element of our community of our communities that's really destroying the earth?
Yes, because once again, we're addicted to convenience and consuming, and we just think that whatever got us here while we're here, listen, they have a problem with the uranium waste and stuff from making nuclear bombs that somebody gonna have to deal with one day. But people right now don't care, so they storing it in places and leaving people in harm's way to have to deal with it later on down the road. This man, we're a species of addicts.
Yeah.
So when you addicted to consuming and being comfortable and wanting convenience, then you're gonna want as much air conditioning and heating as you want to, and you're gonna want to use as much gas as you can to fly. And even when they raise the price of it, and even when that they say that the earth isn't producing enough oil for us at the rate of consumption that we're doing or using it, we'll still say, I want more, I want more, I want more. So it's like, we are more than drug addicts in more than one way. And in the process, not paying attention to the signs that we're not giving back or we're taking away too much from the things that we need. Animals go extinct because of our actions. Floods and different things that they want to ignore that's going on. Antarctica is melting with this, all that ice, those big icebergs falling into the water, man. They want to say it's natural. In some cases, it may be natural, but in many cases, we're speeding it up, and it's proven.
I wonder if all that ice were to melt, would it flood the world?
I believe it could, and I also believe it could release viruses that's been locked away for 1 million years that probably wiped out another civilization. And that might be what coronavirus was. They say there's all type of viruses locked up under that ice, man. That I think when COVID hit, man, and we had to sit down the way that we did, and I was looking in the sky and I wasn't seeing nothing but birds, but no airplanes, no chemtrails.
Yeah.
I was like, man, you know what, man? I think we're being told in a natural way. The earth is telling us, okay, y'all doing too much to me.
Yep.
You're doing too much. Sit down somewhere. Just sit down and appreciate the smaller things a little bit more. Even your family. Sit down and spend time with your families and see if you really are compatible with your wife or your husband. Maybe y'all did get together for the wrong reason and y'all just together for convenience, but now you can't get along. Or maybe you missed that old love and feeling because you've been getting away from each other, caught up in this rat race. Maybe you learn something about your child because y'all sitting down eating dinner together and y'all can't go hang out no more. You just can't get distracted by all these things that we get distracted by. I mean, I actually started appreciating a lot more and then realizing what I was depending on, TV shows. Oh, man, I'm tired of looking at reruns. But then I thought about it. You know what? This just goes to show you that somebody made it without TVs one time before.
Yeah, exactly. 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. Phone lines open. Give us a call. We got a topic. We're going to get to the topic in just a few minutes, but I want to touch on this just a little while longer. Let me go to Badger. Badger, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning. Hope everyone's having a beautiful and blessed day.
Absolutely. Badger, we're talking about I went fishing over the weekend, and as I was going, I looked to my left, and there was a cow field over there, and all the cows were sitting down. Old people had said to me a long time ago that if you're going fishing and you look at a cow field, all the cows are sitting down, that's a sign to go back home. It's not a good day. I'm being hard-headed. I went anyway. I went and got my tackle, went and got my bait and all this stuff, and went to the pond. I call it my pond because I know the pond so well. Man, look here. I went all around that pond, different depths and all kind of different things, man. Fishing. Ain't caught a fish. Ain't had a bite all day. Badger, why are we so in a place right now where we don't pay attention to nature and what it's saying to us?
Ooh.
Come on,
That's
Badger.
a question to ask me.
Come on.
I mean, it's a combination of things. There's, I'm actually quite surprised you did that.
What's that? Was hard-headed and not listening?
Well, not just that, but you just kept trying to push it. Because for me, going fishing is about reconnecting with nature. Sometimes I'll throw an empty hook out there just to sit and chill. So I make a comment with the way some like video games are being made right now, right? A lot of video games nowadays are very fast paced. And for someone like me, I don't vibe with that a lot. I'm more of a methodical, slow and steady wins the race type person. Most of the time. But it got me thinking of observing how everyone wants that reward feeling. People have become, or at least in my opinion, it's almost like an addiction, I guess. That to get that reward, that adrenaline rush, the happy feeling, whatever feeling or they're addicted to, the one that they want to feel. They do what they need to do to feel it. If it's winning a match on a game or golfing or fishing or whatever, it just ties into everything else we've been talking about before.
Okay. Go ahead, brother. Go ahead.
It almost seems like being taught the introspection, looking within oneself and how oneself affects the things that are around them. It's just not taught as near nowhere close as much as it used to be.
Wow. That I think that's a big part of the problem. Ms. Navy, Shanavia. Let me say Shanavia. Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
I'm good this morning. How y'all doing?
Hey, doing good, doing good. Sis, why do we feel as though? Let me say it that way. Why do we feel as though we're so busy that we can't pay attention to nature? Because nature is always talking to us. It's constantly talking to us, but we too busy to listen or to hear what it's saying. Why is that?
My simple, quick answer would be we're so busy moving and ready for the next to where we don't stop and pay attention. And two, I don't feel like if we don't respect each other enough, we definitely don't respect the womb that we live in called Earth.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if we're here, we're occupants of it, but we don't respect it. And I feel like to some degree, like we feel superior to it.
Wow.
And when you really think about it, and maybe this is like a little weird, but like this is just where my thought process is going. Like we're at his mercy. We literally are.
Mm-hmm.
Because there could be an earthquake, there could be a tsunami. We have no control over that.
Yeah.
I mean, to some degree we do if we were to treat it better, but this is literally our home. This is, I look at it as a womb, like the womb, like a mother's womb, but we are not doing a good job of taking care of it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, myself included. I'm trying to do better now, but when I didn't understand it and understand the importance of it, it's just like, oh, okay, well, we're just gonna be reckless with it.
Yeah.
But we're reckless with each other, so it just follows suit.
Absolutely, absolutely. Toussaint, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Doing pretty good.
Good.
Doing pretty good.
Hey, good to have you, brother. Asking the question, man, why do we feel as though we're too busy? We're too busy to pay attention to nature when nature is constantly talking to us, constantly telling us different things, constantly giving us signs and warning signs, but we never pay attention, and then we find ourselves caught up because we didn't. What do you say to that, Toussaint?
When you're done with something, you just move on. Last Monday, I think it was last Monday or whenever it was, we heading to the moon.
Yes, sir.
To see how we can habitate it.
Mm-hmm.
Because we using all of the resources. So we trying to find another world. I mean, I say we.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
We got this, and I say we. I keep saying we because we got this Babel mentality.
Mm-hmm.
And we made up in our minds rather than be fruitful and multiply and replenish the earth and subdue it. What we have made up in our minds is we're going to utilize everything we got here and then move on to something else.
Mm-hmm.
So nature is not even included, which what we're supposed to do is we're supposed to have dominion, take care, the caregiver of earth.
Yeah.
But
are we destroying it, Toussaint?
No, I mean we're selfish. Me, mine, and I, and get all I can get out of whatever I'm trying to get it out of, and then go on. We gas and all is something that we done burned up so much that now we're trying to go electric, and now there's a Thrive, and I don't even know what it is. I saw something that the electric cars, the Teslas, and what they're doing is they're going and they're trying to mine and take out the earth, the resources, to make enough batteries that we can go electric. Well, we did that, and I keep saying we did that with gas and oil. And here's the thing about that. What's all of these reserves for?
Yeah.
But then we use them to go to the moon, burn it up. You know, we got They say it's the most powerful rocket in the world. That they're gonna circle around the moon for 21 days, something 22, 21 days.
Yeah, something like that.
Okay, now for the life of me, maybe I'm not that smart or not into that. But my question is, even with going to Mars, why? When you can't take care of what you're given?
Exactly.
What? Why? We didn't wore this out. You're supposed to, and I'm gonna say this and I shut up. You're supposed to let the land rest in the 7th year.
Yeah.
I think it is. When the last time we let the land rest?
Never.
How you think that's gonna work out?
Hey, not too good, brother. Not too good at all. Not too good at all. Cassandra, good morning. And Captain, coming to you next. Cassandra, good morning. How you doing this morning?
Good morning.
Cassandra, and congratulations.
Thank you so much.
How'd it go?
It was absolutely amazing.
Good. Glad you enjoyed this. Was it long?
Yeah, but it didn't seem long because African people know how to spice it up.
Yeah.
They was dancing and everything. It was beautiful.
Good. I'm glad you definitely enjoyed it, and you absolutely deserve it. So congratulations again. Cassandra, we're asking a question this morning. Why is it that we don't take time to listen to the signs of nature? Nature tells us different things. Like I said, I was going fishing, saw the cows sitting in the field. Know that I was told years ago that if you're going fishing and you see the cows sitting on the field, that is not a good day. Might as well go home because you're not going to catch anything. I learned the hard way. Cold as it was, I was still out there. Didn't even get a bite. So why do we not? Why do we not listen to the signs of nature, Cassandra? Why do we feel as though we're too busy to listen or pay attention?
No, because we are the supreme beings as we consider. But I think that was Navy that was talking. I would Navy. You know, the animals and they smarter than us. They smarter than us. You can take something as what we consider insignificant as ants. Do you see how them boogers work together?
Yes.
Do you see how they work together as teams and store up and make sure that they got what they need as a team, as a group? And we seem like we can't decide what color to put on a piece of paper. I don't know. You know, we have this earth is about to show us something, and it's already started. You have the polar ice caps melting, which is causing the sea levels to rise, which is causing boom, 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 boom. And we have a domino effect going on, and around the world, people are ignoring all the signs that the earth is trying to give us. But guess what? We're going to self-destruct ourselves. Because the way we're going with global warming, we're bringing our own destruction. We're bringing our own destruction. And it's sad because it doesn't have to be that way. And I think Toussaint said God gave us this earth to love on and to nurture and to take care of. And we've done a piss poor job of doing that.
Absolutely. Captain, good morning, sir. How are you doing this morning?
Good morning, everyone. I'm doing fine. Thank you for asking.
Yes, sir. Yeah. What's on your heart about this, man? Captain, why do we not take time to listen? Earth talk to us every day. The water, the trees, the animals, it speaks to us every day. Why are we so busy or feel as though we're so busy that we can't even listen and then find ourselves in terrible situations?
Well, I like what Sister Cassandra said. the nature of man's curiosity. I have a different understanding, of course. Y'all pretty much know that because I'm in the nation, and we don't see things the same way. We see that when the scripture talks about Adam in the 6 days, eat the rule, we believe that's talking about 6,000 years. God gave him dominion, unfettered dominion. He told Adam, conquer everything. Conquer everything. Fish in the sea, air, conquer everything, Adam, that you can conquer. Because on the seventh day, which is the 7,000 years according to the scripture, not you shall rest, I'm going to put you to rest, which means you at your end. He said, if you allow him to come all the way and peep into heaven, I'll give you that. Come on up here. You want to know what's on Mars? You know there's life on Mars. You know that. That's why you ain't quick to get there. Oh, you can go to the moon, but we know the moon was part of the earth, according to Elijah Muhammad. 66 trillion years ago, it was blasted out there, and now you see his moon void of water. And because it's void of water, she always reached back to the earth for her water, and that's why we don't have the water overthrowing the land, because we know we got more water than we got land on the earth. But without the moon, it keeps it stabilized. We know the history. I like what Sister Kasai, have you ever seen, just go and disturb an anthill. If you see an anthill, disturb it. They do the come out with a sign, anthills matter, anthills matter. They go about the business and redo it. Disturb a beaver's dam. The beaver don't come up and get mad and say, beaver dams matter. He just rebuilt. I didn't know that one thing. If you see the cows, that's new stuff for me. That's that old Southern stuff. If you see the cows, it's a bad fishing day. That's a new one on me, Raheem.
Yes,
but
sir.
Nevertheless, I do believe that they are doing what they're supposed to do. But look at it. Come on, let's keep it 100 now. Everybody wants, this ain't the race card. But it ain't black people that's doing this. When you see shock control and looking at the depths of those, that ain't black people. Look who's climbing the mountains. Look who's going in places, man, no man has ever gone before. It ain't us. It ain't us, man. It ain't us. Why black people ain't involved with exploring? Because we've been here ever since creation started. We know every square inch of this planet, 196,940,000 square miles. We know that the land is 57,255,000 square miles. We know that the water is 138,634,000 square miles. We know all that. This is the left, I'm sorry, we quote. But anyway, once you're the originator of it, you're the owner of it, and if you don't have to discover what you created. So this is the new fellow on the planet. He's excited. He's 16 years old. And I heard Honorable Elijah Muhammad say, how can a 6-year-old child tell a 76-year-old man about his history?
Wow.
No chance. That's, I keep saying. Now, I'm not saying it as an insult, but I'm saying this is what I believe and what I'm talking. Now, you can dismiss it and say, well, yeah, Captain, all that stuff you believe, you can put that in the bag and throw it in the garbage can. Okay, I can deal with that. But I'm telling you what I'm talking, what I believe. And the end is up.
Good
you
deal.
Start seeing nature out of nature.
I'm
seeing things in nature that nature don't do, brother. Nature's out of nature. Animals is going after different animals like they never did this before, brother. I'm looking at it. I sit there see the dog stuck to a root. To a chicken. I mean, come on, man. I mean, what kind of stuff is that? But the bottom line, no, man. I do believe, white man, listen. The bottom line, he was given dominion. He's doing exactly what he's supposed to do. God is going to erase all that, and there's going to be a new heaven and a new earth. Everybody been taught that, and every religion taught there's going to be a new heaven and a new earth.
Yes, sir.
And the older things shall pass away. Well, they're going to pass away, my brother. This is what I believe. They're going to pass away.
Absolutely.
And they got to do what they do, and let them do what they got to do. God gave them that. Good riddance.
Good deal. 508-924-3521. 508-924-3521. Gonna keep this thing going, man, and give us a call. We're gonna go to our topic. We got a great topic we're gonna go to in just a minute or two. But right now, I want to go to Leonard. Leonard, good morning, sir. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, Raheem. Good morning, Glow family.
Leonard, why are we not listening, brother? Why are we not listening to what the earth is saying to us? Nature. And when I say the earth, nature. Why are we not listening? Because it talked to us. I was hard-headed over the weekend. I knew, man, it had been said to me many times, you go past that cow field and them cows sit down, ain't no need you going fishing. You ain't gonna catch nothing. I'm out there for hours. And look, ain't had a bite, brother. Ain't had a bite. Why don't we listen?
Well, I ain't gonna comment on what you talking about.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, is some people aren't interested.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everybody's not interested in the same thing. Some people take certain things for granted.
Mm-hmm.
Some people take access to clean water for granted.
Yes, sir.
Because they've never been without it. They've never had to struggle to get it.
Mm-hmm.
Some of you who are old enough to remember, if they're on the line, y'all probably remember well water.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Cold. It was cold too, brother. It was cold too, brother. That was some cold water.
Yeah, still a lot of people, you know, younger people don't realize what it's like not to have running water and why that is possible and how it is possible.
Mm-hmm.
Or say, for instance, if you've always lived in the city around polluted factories and everything, you get around some clean, fresh air, and that may be what makes you change your mind.
Mm-hmm.
When you see, you say, you know what, I'm tired. It stink. Oh, you ever live next to a paper place, processing place?
I rolled past
and you go through that area,
mm-hmm.
and boy,
I have.
what is
loaded?
hell?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But those people that live there have grown accustomed to that.
Mm.
Imagine people that live where great smog is and how people's health are affected. Those people realize it, but some people would say, well, what can I do? I can't stop the wind from blowing nor the rain from falling.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So there's a lot of different reasons why people don't. However, shout out to those activists, environmental activists. Shout out to my man Daniel Blackman, one of the largest, most interesting young black brother here in Georgia that ran for Public Service Commission based on environmental racism.
Mm.
And you know, those types of things, you know, things that you have to work on 30, 40 years and then pass it on to the next person to keep doing the work and keep doing the work until you get to a place where now you're trying to clean up the ocean. You know how filthy the ocean is because of the stuff that we dump in there?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
At one point, the people thought it was okay. Look at where I'm from, right down the street from Saginaw, Flint, Michigan. And the plant been sitting there forever. And the plant knew that the water was corroding they stuff.
Mm-hmm.
What you think is doing the other side? That's why you have to understand the importance of having a clean water facility right in your city.
Yeah. Yeah.
To keep the water clean in your city, you should have a water treatment plant.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a lot of different reasons why some people may not be concerned. You got a whole party that don't care nothing about the climate change.
Mm-hmm. Wow. Wow.
Fights against every accord and everything that other people around the world are trying to get together to do just to help us maintain the ability to live on this planet.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Wow, that's good.
So different have different priorities.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Absolutely. 508-924-3521. You're listening to The Morning Glow. You're listening to The Morning Glow. We're here every day, Monday through Friday from 7 o'clock until 10 o'clock a.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on DK Media Group and Associates. Let me go to Ibrahim. Ibrahim, what's on your heart, brother? Ibrahim, you there? Rico, talk to him.
I'm here.
Okay. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. You know, it's hurtful to see that how many of us that don't know about, the land that we live in, or how we, when we came up, and observing or paid attention. Leonard brought some couple of things, and a couple of things I like to bring up. You know, part of our history is based off the fact because there was an ice age. People were literally able to walk through the different Solomon Islands over here to America during there. Or the water was so shallow, they were able to do what devices they used. They knew about astrology and all this kind of thing because of stuff like that. And that the ice age, that they already speculate for the last few years that the entire coastlines of America and a lot of other countries are going to be flooded. And I was talking to somebody the other day, said they already started to move the houses back in a lot of coastal, like up around New England. You know, some of the old cabin houses been around for 300-400 years. They bring them closer back in land because they can't survive on the coastline now, because the coastline might be anywhere to 400 to 500 feet higher than it is right now. You know, and it has went up over in my lifetime. It's went up over 200 feet. So this just goes to show you what's going on, right? That but the Earth, a study of just read some books on volcanology. We talk about earthquake stuff. I know it was brought up about the fracking, the oil that we get oil from shale oil and stuff like that. Reservoirs create earthquakes in Georgia. We have earthquakes because of Lake Lanier and Lake Altoona. We have earthquakes and Hartsfield Reservoir. Mm-hmm. We have earthquakes around there. A lot of people don't know about it because of those big lakes. And also the crust is shifting. A lot of other things are going on. But what we got to look at is one thing you start every time you talking about the fish and everything was survival. It's time we pay attention to survival. Like Leonard brought up Michigan and the water, Saginaw, and the water and everything, right? Yeah, I remember when we used to get water from the well. I remember that we had the only water house was a pump. They had to pump water from the well. Sweetwater Creek, best water I ever tasted in my life. When I was coming up around, around folks in the country and farms and stuff, we had to learn these things. We had to relearn these. We had to really know these things. I post a lot of times on every time I hear little ways of hacking science of food or doing things. I post that. When people start talking about earth, like people talking about garden, people start talking. You gotta say, well, have you had the soil tested yet? You know what I mean? That you're growing these things. You had to say, no, we're just doing it natural. Reefer now, marijuana is becoming popular, but man, some of the stuff it stinks. Man, it's like it's all kind of chemical trace. I don't know what's in it, but everybody's so happy about this, that, and other thing. We don't think. We don't, GMO modified food. What does that actually mean? And we're talking about healthy food. I mean, the whole 9 yards. I've been in the meat industry, the industry with plants and vegetables, most of my life. And I'm telling you, that we have to really start talking about survival. Just like the land grid and the grid go off. The grid go off anytime for any reason. They were talking about 2000 about the grid going down. We still haven't completed the problem. We could be hacked. In fact, we've been hacked in the last 10 years. We've had grids to fall. Again, all I say is that if all this information that your brain, research it more and then do something about it. And then I heard about the Tesla, the batteries. I forgot what the name is. I told people to invest in it when Tesla started making these battery run cars, and it went up high. I can't think of the name, but right now the battery is very poisonous. You can't throw it away, but if you redo it and everything, repurpose it, it can be used with a higher rate and longevity. But you can't throw this stuff away. It's more toxic than the stuff we use to power things. And we never needed energy. The oil, all the gas and everything was a product of people making decisions. That's how they can make money off of it. Mm-hmm. At first they needed, but they never needed rate. Electric cars existed before gas cars did. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And steam powered cars. Mm-hmm. All this existed before, right? Before gas, but it was more profitable for gas engines, right? Just like now, they're finding ways to make my electric be more profitable because electric cars won't go more than 150, 200 miles. That is seriously stupid. You can't, anyway. So saying all these things, if we know these things or we feel these things, let's learn more about it.
Good deal.
Let's do so we can do something. Everybody can do a little something. Mm-hmm. And whatever you do, you can do about it. Less lights, less bath water. I don't know. It's every little thing that counts, right? Less plastic. And like you're talking about the ocean, there's an island out around Auckland, New Zealand, and Australia that's almost as big as Rhode Island or New York State. An island of debris, containers, plastic and stuff like that. The fish are eating and getting tangled up in it. The turtles are dying. These things, everything has a reason. Mm-hmm. And it says it also, and looking at reading the Torah Talmud, right, or the Old Testament.
Hey, Ibrahim,
look at that, right?
Okay, hold right there, brother.
I got everything. He was told to call out their nature.
Okay, stay right there, brother. Don't you go nowhere. I got to circle around, brother. Let me go to Rico. Rico, what's on your heart? And everybody try to stay within your 3 minutes. Everybody try to stay within your 3 minutes so we can keep this thing flowing.
Yeah, to me it goes back to the respecting the natural, understanding and respecting the supernatural, and then not getting too caught up in what man influences. It might go all the way back to the Bible and the whole purpose of the Bible, keeping people to the point of where they actually respect the real purpose of life. Mm-hmm. And the cause and effect that you have on it. Where I'm from, not only we known for the Freedom Riders bus being bombed and attacked, but we're also known for as being the home of the creation of PCBs.
Mm-hmm.
This is where Monsanto had his home planet, where they created PCBs and they polluted our atmosphere, and they hid it for decades and decades and decades, and they finally got revealed that they knew what they were doing. We had places that you could sit in people's backyard and fish in a ditch out in clear water and catch as many crappie and bass as you wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Now you go to some of these same areas and it looks like ghost towns, and they had to go and dig all the land up at least 3 feet to try to get rid of PCBs that you'll never get rid of, and you pass it down through your children. But it was terrible, because back then it was normal to ride around and see this haze in the air and then smell this fart smell.
Mm-hmm.
All the time it smelled like fart. But then finally the EPA
mm-hmm.
came in and they started doing some regulating. Then when Bush became president, he came down and they started talking about PCBs and creating plants that you could grow without having to use pesticides. And they fought off, and he was like, well, you need to get in touch with me. I'm in the deregulation business. That's what George Bush #1 said.
Yeah.
And then that's when all this GMO stuff became popular. Mm-hmm. But we got paid, but money will never be able to make up for the high rates of cancer I think, if I ain't mistaken, we have the highest rate of cancer in the United States, probably in the world. Highest rate of heart disease, highest rate of kidney. I mean, there's so many different illnesses that was an overabundance of in this area. And that's just the physical part of it. I ain't gonna even mention the mental part of it. Mm-hmm. We were #1 on the FBI's list for violent crimes per capita.
Wow.
24,000 people, if that, in this city. I ain't talking about the county. That's just in this little city.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, man, it has a huge effect, and it goes back to the point of who's manipulating. Remember what I said? Somebody manipulating the reality and making the natural unnatural. Who's doing that? Who's having that impact? Who's the one that's not understanding the importance of bees and just looking at them as little insects that get on your nerves, and they might sting you and kill one every chance you get, because them things will sting you. But bees are important for our existence.
Yeah.
But to some people, that's small things to what's more important. And even though they do realize what's important, what do they care? They're trying to find ways to get off this planet.
Exactly.
While we just continue to indulge and consume and find more ways to be distracted, unfocused, and looking for the things that make everything as easy as we can make it, or easier for us to get to do things that make us feel good.
Absolutely. We're gonna go on this order. We're gonna go Toussaint, Cassandra, Hicks, and then Pete. Let's go to Toussaint. Toussaint, what's on your heart, brother? Toussaint, you there? Okay, let's keep this thing going.
I was scrolling around with this mute button, man. I was just messing up.
I got you. What's on your heart? Talk to me.
I couldn't find. No, we're wasteful, greedy and wasteful. My dad used to say, greed will turn a man to rags. And I was trying to figure out what in the world is Dad talking about. You run out. You keep on getting and getting and getting and getting. Sooner or later, the resources run out. You keep getting from the same place. And then you get that and you move on and you try to get something else. And that's what we're doing. So, at some point, you got to take care of what you got. And then you got to include others. But a selfish society that's only worrying about me, my, and I run over each other. That's just me. We talk about ants. It's the craziest thing about, I guess not the craziest thing, but the wisdom of watching ants is they don't have no leader. But if they need a bridge, you know what they do? Get together and make one.
Yeah.
You know what if they need a ladder to climb high, you know what they do? get together and build one.
Mm-hmm.
What we do is we walk on each other.
Mm-hmm.
If I need something from you, I just take it or manipulate my way into it. You notice that there are billionaires that coming out that are being found out to be scammers.
Mm-hmm.
This lady that she has this blood test and spent some years in prison. She was a billionaire.
Yeah.
Off of other folks, conning other folks.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Ain't that so?
That's how it works sometimes.
And we support them.
Mm-hmm.
I say we. I always used to say we, but I don't mean we. I mean this mentality that mankind has developed.
You don't mean we as in us?
No, I really don't. I really don't, because I just say mankind.
Yeah.
Have got out of place, and we're so out of order. We don't know how to get back in order. We don't even know how to start.
Exactly.
You might want to start with but you think that they're irrelevant. You think that all of them crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But the reason why, if they are crazy, you made them that way. That's your job.
Wow. Yeah. Cassandra?
Yeah, I want to just take it from this angle just for a moment. As we see our earth deteriorating, and we see that private industries are building spaceships to take the rich to the moon, the Mars, wherever they're gonna go. I'm just asking a question. How many of you have $4 to $5 million to pay to get yourself, that ain't even your whole family, on one of these spaceships so that your life will be saved? I'm just asking.
I certainly
You just got $4 to $5 million that you're gonna be able. So even in the destroying of the earth, the wealthy are trying to figure out how to get out of here if something run down. And a couple of years ago, I did a movie, and the movie was based on the earth was about to be destroyed. A meteor or something was about to hit the earth. And they had prioritized people that would be able. They were good though, because at least they did a lottery. But a lot of wealthy people bought their way on to those flight spaceships that were taking people from the earth. I'm just saying, if it boils down to it, if we keep going in the direction that we're going in, the poor people will be left here to die. And the rich people go move on, like somebody said, they're going to move on to Mars or the moon or wherever they're going to go. And once again, the poor will be the ones that suffer the most.
Absolutely.
I'm just saying.
Absolutely. I think Mr. Hicks had to step away for a second. I know he was next, and I think he had to step away for a second. So, Ms. Hicks, if you're there, say something. If not, I'm going to go ahead on and keep it moving.
Do the Booker T. Washington book. They're going to need rich people always need service. Like kings and queens, they need service. Be technical.
Okay.
Then you won't get left.
Wow. Pete, what's on your heart, brother?
Well, it's good conversation. The earth, the condition of the earth, what it seems. Man doesn't have the power to destroy earth, though. You didn't create it. You don't have the power to destroy it. You can do a lot of damage. It can disrupt a whole lot. But you didn't create it, so you don't have the power to destroy it. And, you can rest easy. People make all manner of plans. They put it all together. They plan it for hundreds to thousands of years, and it never works out. Because, again, they're not in control. You're just a member of a whole nother not societal, but a real function, right? A reality. We all just a part of a greater reality. So you can mentally masturbate all you want with your riches, your finances, your make-believe prestige, and the feathers that you think are wiping your musty behind. You are not in control. You do not have the power. It is not your job or your duty. Okay? We have been here since the beginning, and we gonna be here to the end. Believe that. Know that. Man does not have the power, and he is not gonna be able to do half to most of the thing. Why you think they keep going up there? Because they ain't figured it out yet. Oh, they building, they planning. They might be. And I hope you got a steel reinforced umbrella for when that mess they build it come crashing back down to earth. Okay?
Wow.
You're not in control. You're not going to have your way. The universe, all of creation, stands against wrong and wickedness.
Yes.
You can call it God, you can call it whatever you want to. But I'm saying to you in truth, there's an essence in reality and existence that stands for all that is right. And it stands against all that is wrong. And the foolishness of those that feel like they can, the reality of it is they cannot.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Toya with a T. Good morning, young lady. How you doing this morning?
Good morning, family. How y'all doing?
Hey, doing good, sis. Good, doing good. Good to have you. Good to have you. Sound like you got all the energy in the world this morning, but I don't know. We might need to skip you. You got too much energy this morning. But what do you say?
I got some sleep.
There you go. There you go. What do you say about this situation we're talking about, man? We're not listening to earth, to nature.
Oh yeah.
And we all the signs that is telling us about this and that, but we're not paying attention. Are we really that busy, or we just dumb to the facts?
Nah, we'll never pay women no attention. We just think women be moody. Mother Nature, she just moody. She don't know what she want to be: cold, hot, warm, rain, snow, or whatever. But no, we don't pay attention. Something that's just as simple as we not paying attention to ourselves. We so busy, we can't get no rest. But you make sure that car got an oil change, though. I mean, I'm just saying, there are so many things that we take for granted that we think is just there, and it just be, nothing ever happened to it. So, as humans, we have a great ability to forget about stuff. The most important things, because it's all about us. It's all about in our little brains. We're the only thing that matters until what? Earthquakes. I'm such a believer in how God put this together. I promise you, the world acts according to us. If we got some issues going on in the sea and it's splitting and we got tsunamis, somebody got some nasty, funky spirits. You need to be up out of here. Sometimes I remember one time I was going through my whole little God thing. I tell you no lie. When I'm not an outside person. I don't do no bugs and all that. But when I don't know about you, but for me, God took me to a place to where I was like Snow White. Okay, I love the birds, the trees, the bees, and all this stuff here. And one day I was drawn outside to, like, Mother Earth was calling me, like, yo, what's up? And I went outside, no shoes on, put my hands on the ground, and it was like the earth just breathed like, I'm tired, honey. Y'all sucking me up, all these lights and gas and cutting down trees, and we sure don't put bodies in the ground no more if you wondering what's going on with your soil. But if y'all keep on doing this stuff at the rate y'all going, I'm going to bust. And I remember having an overwhelming conscience now that Mother Nature is hollering at us, and we draining the oil out of her, sucking up all the fish, putting in plastic and the parts from bears and all of that. So with all of this going on, not only are nasty spirits, because we have dominion, whether you want to believe it or not only the things that we're doing to the animals, let's not talk about, oh my gosh, do you know what these telephone wires and cell phone poles do? We don't even know. And we didn't even pay attention how they putting them in different places, right? That at one point in time they couldn't put them. The regulations just keep looser and looser, and they just get to plop them everywhere now. And now the medical society, they know what's going to happen within 5 to 10 years after placing those poles there. And it's all structured and woven into the system, just like they did the Constitution. So absolutely, they keep us busy and distracted because there are things going on, right? Like when you got your kids and you're planning them something, and you're like, "Now come on over here to throw their mindset off." and you give them things to do, that's exactly what they do to us. And that's exactly what we do to the earth when we don't pay attention, when we don't garden on our own, when we don't, take the time, I say, to stop and smell the roses. She's going to get to a point to where she's ungrateful, and she's going to show us exactly how she feels.
Good deal. Well, very well said. Badger, what's on your heart, brother?
I was thinking
Navy and Captain come to next.
About the tech we have nowadays versus, the indigenous people from all over the world knew about technology that's different than, and a lot of it's starting to be used today. When that whole debate many years ago over direct current and alternating current and all that kind of stuff was being fought over and everything. The part that always threw me off is, because I've had this talk with many people of, why don't we use direct current and things? And just about every time I get a response of, well, it's harder to regulate and make money off of. And when you look at things like crude oil versus other types of oil and things like that, it's the same principle. Most people are more worried about that money and materials than they are the things that are around them. It's the, and so as I've gotten older, sometimes I just look at what's going on in our world and go, they're treating Earth just like they treat themselves.
Wow.
And when you start looking at things from an outside perspective and don't put yourself in it and you observe. And then, as you're observing, you see the similarities of how people treat themselves and treat others. And they do the same thing to the planet. There's no difference. And then you turn around and do introspection and start going, am I doing that? I need to look at myself and see, because sometimes that can cause a thought of, well, that's not cool to treat somebody like that or to treat something like that. Look within yourselves after that. Look, we need to be looking at ourselves also and figuring out, am I also doing that? Am I guilty of that as well?
Wow. 508-924-3521, 508-924-3521. Give us a call. We definitely like to have your input. Gonna go to Navy, then we're going to Cap. Navy, what's on your heart?
Oh man, I don't think I have too much more to add. Like I'm here for everything that that's been said as far as just kind of soaking it all in. And I'm just gonna double down on what I said earlier. We feel superior. We don't value each other, so therefore we don't value the place that we call home. And I think that's evident every day. And I also wanted to piggyback off of what Miss Cassandra said, because y'all, it be some truth behind some of these movies that be that they put out there. Because 2012, I think, is the movie that she was talking about, where there was this huge tsunami that was taking place and happening. And if you didn't have money, or if you were not connected, then you were not on this ship. And I don't know. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Maybe I am. I don't know. But when I go back and watch some of these movies based off of what's happening in today's time, I'm just like, now how did they know this?
Exactly.
That's all I got, though. I'm just kind of taking it in right now.
Good deal. Cap, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
Man, I'm telling you, it would be something. Excuse me. If you didn't believe in God, this is a frightening future. I mean, if you didn't have no faith in God, I would be scared to death of what I see. But because the scripture help us to understand, as I heard my man, I think it was Brother Pete, you can't destroy what you didn't create. And you just like a little ant as a people on this planet. God is watching. He gave you dominion, meaning that if you look at the scripture, every time God wanted to get rid of the wicked, the world has got to the point where they in total disobedience to him, What he sent? He sent a flood. Fire, bam, they were gone. Not this water this time, but the scripture says fire this time. And it be fire. So you see all of nature. Man don't control nature. Man don't control no earthquakes. Man don't control tornadoes and hurricanes. But we used to, I'm going to just be honest with you white folks to be listening. And there's some on this line know what I'm talking about. When there's always a tornado, we know it never came into the hood. It always worked on the suburbs. And we always wonder how many black people got killed. We knew that it never came into, how come the tornadoes never came into the hood? Where the predominant darker poor people's at? Poor whites in the hood, poor black people. How come, was this God's protection? The Bible talk about an ancient, that was called Babylon. Y'all know about the Bible, Babylon, the great she is fallen, she become an habitation of devils. Well, who's the modern day Babylon? America, the Native Americans is getting ready to sell. The Native Americans, right, back, you know what I'm talking about. They're not celebrating Thanksgiving. Genocide. When I was a kid in the school learning about that, I seen the Pilgrims and I seen the Native Americans, and I the Pilgrims there, and look where they're at now. They're not celebrating Thanksgiving. We don't call it Thanksgiving in the nation. You know what we call it? Giving thanks. We giving thanks to God. Not for this one day that we eat some turkey. But to the Native Americans, they're not celebrating Thanksgiving. It was the day that land was taken away from. It was the day they opened up their arms to the Caucasian man, and he took everything. Now they're on the Indian reservation. They're on the Indian reservation getting government handouts. Thanksgiving for them. And the Native Americans didn't do nothing with the land. They kept the land, they preserved the land, but they didn't build on the land. So here comes the Caucasian man. He takes the land, he builds on the land, he makes this great America. So one just takes the land. God, there's two laws. If you don't use it, you lose it.
Good deal.
If you don't use it, you lose it. And there's another law, if you abuse it, you lose it. So one lost because they didn't use it. The other one lost it because now we're talking about Caucasian people or America who's abusing the land. So now God is going to give another chance, another people, and that's the way he's going to establish the kingdom of God right here on earth. Now that may be our chance. None of us survivors, and I like what Susan said. Do you got enough money to go? But they can go, but what goes up must come down. I don't care how much they plan. God would exhaust their plan. The Holy Quran says they plan, and God plans. And God is the best of planners. So we don't care what they do. They're not going to make it up there. The message just said there's nothing outside this earth that they can allow them to exist because they was created on this earth and the atmosphere was only made for them. You can't diminish the message. You can go to the moon, but you can't get out that suit. He said if you get out that suit, that moon will suck every ounce of fluid out your body.
Good deal.
That's
Good
how
deal.
strong the moon is.
I preacher, we got to move on now, preacher. We got to move on now, preacher. Hold on.
I'm sorry. But anyway, I'm gonna button this up. I'm gonna go ahead and button this up. But I just think that we have to believe that they will not be successful. I'm not saying what they're doing with the land. I do know this: a new heaven and a new kingdom is gonna come into existence, whether I live to see it or not. God is forever.
Good deal. We're going in this direction, Leonard. Toussaint, then we're gonna go to Cassandra. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother? Ibrahim, you after that?
Nothing much, just listening. Like I say, I'm the type of person I like differences. So I like the fact that there's so many different people, so many interested in different things, because what you cannot do, others can, and they can bring the information back to you and share with you what they have seen, and all these types of things. So I don't get too caught up like a lot of people in different things. And people will tell you, they don't do this because of that and blah, blah, blah. I don't really care what you think, actually. As long as I'm happy and enjoying myself and doing the best that I can, I'm going to try to extend that to other people. However, when you come along those people who don't do that, those are those people who are against you. So I'm set against those people who are against me. But what I don't do is make something out of nothing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't look for reasons to be unhappy about. I don't look for things to be miserable about or to blame other people about. It's about what's next to me.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what's most important. What's next? I got this now, and I got what's next.
Mm-hmm.
All this other stuff that people get caught up in, like even like with Thanksgiving, for instance, as if no one was thanking God for a harvest or anything before America thought of it. So what? Who cares? You celebrate it for what you want to. You celebrate it for what you want to celebrate it for. If people will tell you anything about everything, that's interesting to them, and it's up to you to make your decisions by information you just come across. But just because somebody say this is why they doing it, that don't mean that's why you doing it. So it's good to know why you doing something, as opposed to trying to worry about what everybody else is doing.
Good deal. Good deal. Let me go to Cassandra. Oh, no. Who I had next? Tucson. I'm sorry. Tucson, then Cassandra. Tucson, what's on your heart?
No, I think we covered a lot of ground. Yeah, I'm kind of like Leonard. I don't just put it. I say we a lot, but I don't put everything in a box. It's not in a box. And then one thing about what was said earlier, we always, I keep saying we, but there are some that never consider the God factor. The one that never is out of order. He always maintains order. Everything happens for a reason. Everything has a purpose. We have a purpose. There's a design. There's a pattern. There's a beginning and the end of everything, except him. He is the beginning and the end. But then he's not included in time. We got all of this thing, all of this and us, all mapped out in what he's going to do. And you look at this earth that we doing whatever we doing with it, one day it'll burn away with fervent heat. I don't know what that really means. That takes a lot to just tear down resources that we're so concerned about. And not necessarily tear it down, but he got a plan, what I'm trying to say. Might not be saying it the way that anybody else is. But there's always him, the creator. But I agree with Pete. You can't destroy nothing you didn't create. You can't.
Absolutely.
You can have a hand in something, doing something. But if it's a design of the designer, he already know what he done mapped this thing out. But we always, in anything you got to do, I'll say this and I'll shut up. He says, acknowledge him in all your ways, and he'll direct your path. Seek him first, and all his things will be added. But we seek him last, and look at where it got us. That's all I'm going to say.
Good deal. Good deal. Cassandra?
Yes, sir.
What's on your heart? Talk to me.
Last night at the award service, there was a young man there. He's from Atlanta, and he went to Africa. He did a DNA thing and found out the area that his family was from, through African ancestry. I love them. I've done them. And so he went there to visit, and he felt inspired to do something. He wanted to do something for his people. And so he developed a condensation machine. Some of you may have heard about it. Oh Lord, I can't even say the word. Anyway, he takes condensation and to make the water to and they're making now thousands of gallons of water in some remote areas. I think it's Ghana where he was, and the Chinese paid him a large amount of money for his project. His parents were there, and within 2 years, this kid made $5 million using the earth, using something that is natural to make something that now produces water in a region that needed it really bad, the area that he's in. I'm saying that to say, if we can use our gifts, whatever that is, to find ways, and I think Toya talks about it probably a lot. I mean, she does talk about it a lot, about planting your own gardens. I mean, the stuff that this kid is doing to make, and he's building a city in the area. I think he bought something like 500 acres of land, and he's building a city in this particular area. And he was like, if anybody would like to come, come there, see what's going on. If you're interested in, possibly moving to Africa, this area, I would love to have you. And it was just, I almost cried, because he's taking land, earth, and trying to build something that will help our people, communities. And that's what I think all of us need to be focusing on. I'm with Toya. I wish I had, I got a little patio. I'm thinking about sticking me some stuff out there, start growing me some food, because we're going to be in trouble in a minute. No, we're in trouble now. We just don't realize it. But in a minute, we're going to really be in trouble.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Ibrahim, what's on your heart?
Oh yeah. Sometimes, a lot of people make some good points. Sometimes I feel like I'm in the dark ages, sometimes knowing the thing, the how and the why helps us out a lot, right? And how they're able to do it, and more so than the why they're doing it, right? I think Kennedy said that we're not going to the moon for this, that, and other thing. It's because we can, and that might sound kind of crazy to a lot of people, but everything everybody mentions, my thing is there a solution? Is there a solution to the food problem? Yes, there are. There are easy solutions, right? Building a garden, maybe not one of them, but building towns and cities is counterproductive, because you ain't got so much land, and we're losing land because people are building things because they want to make money, or they want to establish things they don't even need or cannot even support. Like oil. Oil can be reproduced, gas can be reproduced. And some people are actually doing it, and making money off of a lot of waste stuff. Find out that instead of just letting all this gas escape into the atmosphere, why don't we use it and pump it in people's houses, right? They making money and saving money, but not to the extent where they're going to cause the oil well to shut down. And you can shut down oil. You can reproduce oil. Why? How can you say that? Because it's a fossil fuel. It's made from fossil plants, animals and stuff. We can literally throw people in there, throw bodies in there, or throw animal carcasses or whatever, produce oil. Reproduce oil. It might take a while, but science already found out, they already discovered where they can make oil out of things that's already down there, make our own oil. But is it profitable? How far advanced is it going to be and all like this, right? How they going? What kind of rocket fuel they going to space? They using water. They're using water, boosting these terrible engines of power, right? Where it comes from, math. And like and another gentleman made one more statement. I ain't gonna talk too much this time. Like one statement, he said that you can't destroy anything you create, because math cannot be destroyed. That's a mathematical formula. You know what I mean? It take it'll take quite a bit of physicists to understand that you can't destroy mass. It recreates itself, or it goes into another state. You know what I mean? The air we breathe, right? We go from gaseous environment, it gets colder, becomes solid. You know what I mean? So on and on and on. We sitting there, everything that we said, everything we saying, then what are we gonna do about it, right? Start producing our own stuff. Start manufacturing. Start training our kids to be manufacturers. To manufacture, create things to manufacture, or to deal with people's needs, not their wants, right? Instead of Bibles and things where that you can train something to do anything with, you know, well, why not train them how to make these things, the resource, how you can manipulate the resources better and more efficiently and more cost effectively, and also environmental wise produce these things. That's the whole thing about the green thing. But anyway, I digress. So I'm gonna pass it on till you get to your next topic.
Good deal. Let me go to Badger, then we're going to Rico. Badger, what's on your heart?
We're still on the same thing, right?
Yes.
You know, to me, man, there is so much about this topic, and I've always like wondered and researched into a lot of things of why do we do the things that we do, and what things would probably be good for us to overcome or to work through. Because there is a lot of similarities between each of us humans, and then there are things that make us different, and then there are the things that make us individuals. And, or at least to me, I always find it interesting how you can take those concepts, and when you observe, you know, the world, the earth, the animals, the plants. You know, someone brought up about messing with an anthill. You step on an anthill barefoot, and they're going to let you know you stepped on an anthill. You go into a bear's den and wake it up or mess with its food and stuff. You know, it's going to make one of two decisions. You're either going to live or you're not. So there's a lot of perception going on of an individual perceptions of how things are currently and how things are affected currently. And then you add in emotions, you add in material wants, you add in all the things that humans have a tendency to lust for. To me, learning what we need versus what we want can help us take care of the earth in a more efficient manner, which eventually ends up or leading us to taking care of ourselves and others in a more proficient manner.
Absolutely. Rico, what's on your heart? Toya, what is he coming to you next?
Yeah, man. I mean, it really still goes back to, you know, respecting and appreciating the smaller things in life. You know, you know, y'all, they got a jet right now that flies around the earth for almost 3 years straight without having to stop and refuel. They got nuclear submarines that don't have to use diesel or nothing. They can go farther and travel longer without refueling. They had a man that creates water out of thin air. When that Flint, Michigan crisis went on, a black man came up with this machine to just create water out of air. And somebody tried to sabotage it. Y'all know Martin Luther King and John F. Kennedy and Truman said we need to worry about the military industrial complex. But at the same time, even though they are really affecting everything that's going on right now, we are distracted by other things that don't mean as much, because we love to we're looking for comfort. Like I said, this reward thing that Neighbor was talking about, the comfort thing. Badger mentioned it earlier. We love this convenience and this comfort to a point to where we ignore certain things. So now we're stuck in a dilemma. Some things we care about and some things we don't. We don't want people to just vote because of abortion and LGBTQ and your rights, but we want people to vote when they start talking about fracking that's causing man-made earthquakes. We want people to vote when they start talking about doing things that's going to kill the bees that is so important to necessary things we need for our survival. We want people to vote Also, so there will be no more people being removed, and animals being made to become extinct because we believe we can't destroy something that God created. I seen a story last week about this girl from North Carolina went down to Mexico with some people that were supposed to have been her friends, and they destroyed her.
Yep.
But they didn't create her. See, we can have an influence and an impact. We do have to understand that the earth will purge itself. You get what I'm saying? But we can cause some things that happen that shouldn't happen, that are unnatural and out of order. And to ignore it or say we don't care or just look over it, you know, that would be sort of half-heartedly achieving what your real purpose and goal of what, you know, we say that life is about. You know, it's actually protecting life, preserving life. You know, these people we're talking about, these corporations, they got underground bunkers that look like islands, and they're ready to use them. They got enough food. Go buy some seeds, and see if you can get some seeds out of the food that you grow. They even created a monopoly on that. You know, I mean, this is the thing that we don't appreciate, the smaller things. Even if we did want to go plant gardens, they're going to be some of the genetically modified seeds now.
Yep, exactly.
You're gonna have a problem trying to find some natural seeds that you can grow food with that produce more natural seeds.
Exactly.
Somebody got control of that. So I mean, you know, it's some small things that we say that we're not, you know, that we don't care about or that we don't pay attention to, that is very important to our longevity. And yeah, even though we might not be able to destroy the earth, we sure can destroy a lot of the life on it.
Absolutely, absolutely. Toya with a T, what's on your heart? And that's true. That's very true. And because I love my gardens too, man. But you know, it ain't the same, brother. It ain't the same. Toya with a T, what's on?
Listen. So not only do I love the morning show, and particularly I freaking love Rico, the way he says stuff. He is hard to come back behind and say anything. He get on my nerves sometimes because it'd be like, you come to me, I'm like, what? Man, listen, not only do I got to be woke at least 4 hours, but I don't need to smoke no more either because my brain can't keep up by the time he get finished breaking it down, man. Wonderfully said, as usual. You know what I'm saying? But again, right? Ain't nothing new under the sun. These are the same conversations that the children of Israel had.
Yeah.
Even back in that day, the Pharaoh overindulged in the power he had as a Pharaoh, and it destroyed him. And that's what we do as humans. You know, as I was thinking about all this with the earth, I was thinking about how we do it to ourselves. We tell the devil, sure, give me that perm and let it sit on my head and soak into my head and give me cancer. That's why now a lot of us are being woke or going natural, right? Because we are seeing the error of our ways, right? We're seeing that this is something that someone has put out here for us to trick us into thinking, for one, not only be happy with myself, but for two, I'm secretly killing you. And when you start to line up in my hospitals, this is going to be in 17 ways. This is some new ways, really lynch financially. You understand what I'm saying? Create a monopoly that no matter what you do, I'm going to make money off of it. And this all plays into how we don't care. You know what I'm saying? It's like Rico say. Yeah, we do not pay those bees no attention. We don't even pay trees no attention. That's why when COVID came around and everybody got sick, you know why? Because we neglect ourselves so bad. We neglect our own bodies and our own families for the love of money. And we don't even understand how it just spins out like a web into everything we do in daily life. Because once you can say, I don't care about myself, trust me, it's going to be easy to go down and mow down 500 acres of trees and animals and not even understand what you're doing. Right? Because when you can destroy yourself silently, right? Self-destructive behaviors, right? When you can get into your own mentality that, okay, I'm hurt and I can react in a damaging way, trust me, there's no other life that's going to even mean anything to you. So as humans, it can be easy to destroy everything in sight with this evil, wicked mindset that you don't even understand is a wicked, evil mindset because you're solely focused on materialistic things that you see right now. And when you get on that deathbed and die of cancer, How many of us say, oh, I'm going to eat this anyway and not exercise? I got to die something. This is the same mentality that when corporations go out into the world and invest things that they know are killing people, but I'm going to make my money. I know that it's bad, but my family and my wife says she need a $7 million mention, and I'm going to do whatever it takes to get it. So let's not think that this mentality is only for the rich, right? This is a mentality that we humans have a huge issue with, and we need to catch it before it spills over and it destroys us all.
Exactly. Now, I got this clip. We're gonna go to Pete after this. We're gonna go to Pete, and then we're gonna circle our way around. But I gotta play this clip, man. It's a clip that I played for us last week, and I want to keep reiterating the fact I stand with you. I definitely want to reiterate this fact. So, take a look at this clip right here. We're gonna play the clip, and then we're gonna come back and keep this thing going.
Hello everybody, how are you all doing today? My name is Raheem Alger. A lot of you might know me, a lot of you may recognize me from DKM Media Group and Associates. Morning Glow, every day, Monday through Friday, 7 to 10. Real Men in here every Tuesday from 8 o'clock until 10 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I want to come to you and talk to you about something just a little different right now. I want to challenge you. Amen. I want to challenge you. I want to challenge you to, they've had all kinds of challenges. They've had the water climbing over things, jump over the moon challenges, eat the hot chip challenge. None of that is going to do anything to help or improve our community. So I want to come to you and I want to challenge you in a different way today. I want to put out there an I stand with you challenge. I stand with you challenge. And what this challenge is, I want you to go out into your community or communities, go to your schools, and pick one young man, maybe somebody that's troubled, that's going through a situation, whatever it is. But I want you to pick one student, one young man, young guy, elementary, middle, or even high school. And I want you to become his personal mentor. I want you to pour into him what we may have missed ourselves. I want you to pour into that young man. Elementary, middle, or high school. I prefer you to get elementary school or middle school. But if you want to get somebody in high school, that's fine. But I want you to come to me, and I want you to write in this feed right here, I stand with you. And you is that young man. I don't want you to go out there with no ulterior motives in mind. This is not a dating thing where you go out there and try to get with his mom. No, none of that, brothers. None of that. I want you to go in there and make a difference in this young person's life. I want each and every one of you to sign on. Take this challenge. Sign on. We talk, and we talk. I'm going to show you. I'm going to try to get 2 or 3 that I don't know. I go to the school. I know people that's in education. I know people that's very close to me that's in education. I go to the school and ask them, what trouble students do you have here? Send them to me. I talk to their parents, do all the proper paperwork and everything that we need to do. Send them to me. Let me take them to the movies. Let me take them to the bar. Let me take them fishing. Let me sit down and have a conversation with them. Young man, what's going on with you? They tell me you're acting up in school. What's going on? Why are you acting up in school? What's really going on? Let's talk. And I got to tell you, it's not going to start off where they're going to open up to you because they don't know you like that. But if you be consistent, with things, you'll open up and you'll make a difference in this young person's life. I stand with you challenge. Are you with me? If so, write your name, send DKMMediaGroup1 at gmail.com. DKMMediaGroup1, number 1, at gmail.com. Reach out to me and let me know I stand with you. Go out there, get a young man. Pour something into the young people, man. They need us. Fellas, men, they need us. Stand up. all the other challenges, eat a hot chip challenge, what they gonna do for anybody? Climb over these crates, people get falling, killing themselves, getting hurt and all that. What is that gonna do? I stand with you challenge. That's the challenge that's gonna make a difference. Are you with me? I stand with you challenge. Send DKM Media Group #1, DKM Media Group 1 @gmail.com. Just send me a message. Meet me on Facebook. Meet me on one of the shows, whatever. Let me know that you stand with me. Go out there, let's make a difference. Today is the day. Today is the day. Let's do it, man. We can do this. We can do this. I'm counting on you. I'm counting on you. Love y'all. Let's make a difference.
That's where we are right now.
If you're a beat maker, you gotta check this out.
That's where we are right now, y'all. We can talk about it and talk about it and talk about it and talk about it till our butt kick a field goal. But unless or until we get out there and do something, ain't nothing gonna change. Pete, what's on your heart, brother?
Well, on that subject, nobody can do everything, but everybody can do something.
Absolutely.
We've been told all our lives, each one reach and teach one.
Mm-hmm.
But they had to clarify for us that we needed to be one first.
Mm-hmm.
It's real serious that the harvest, right, is great.
Mm-hmm.
But where the field work?
Come on. Come on.
What's that song they sing in church that say, my house is full, but my fields are empty?
Yes.
Who will go and work for me today?
Mm-hmm.
It seems my children all want to sit around my table. A faithful few want to work in my field.
Mm-hmm. Come on.
A faithful few want to work in my field. When we can all discuss the issues, situations, circumstances, conditions, reality that are negative, existing and affecting, individually and collectively, then we collectively and individually thereby represent the solution. If we know the problem,
yep,
then it shouldn't be hard for us to come with the solution, right?
Yes. Talk to me.
But it's understanding the mentality for the greater good of the whole.
Mm-hmm.
Yourself is only existing as a self, as a part of a greater self in the context of a whole. So then you have to have that whole mentality. That you first mentality. That you separatist mentality, but you first mentality.
Yeah.
You already have it.
Mm-hmm.
Get up, taking care of yourself, feeding, washing, brushing, preparing, making sure you're right before you go out the door. You already know and understand doing what's best for self. But in a collective.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And putting forth the effort, making up your mind, being determined to just simply do what you can for the greater good of the whole.
Because like I said in that clip,
strong.
Oh Lord. Like I said in that clip, man, they got them doing water hot, cold water challenge and eat hot chip challenge and all that stuff. Climbing the creek challenge and all. Man, that ain't doing nothing for the community, man. That ain't doing. What is that doing? What is that doing? Pete, that's doing nothing. A waste of time, basically. What's on your heart? Pete, you there?
Oh, I know you still talking to me.
Yes, sir.
That's exactly it.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly it, brother. That's exactly what we're saying. Like you said, we could talk to what our behind touch the moon or whatever that example was. He said
our butt kick. Talk to our butt kick a field goal.
Too much.
Talking to our butt kick a field goal. Yes, sir.
All the time.
Mm-hmm.
We're either hooping and hollering at a rally or acting as an activist, acting. Right? We somewhere hooping and hollering in the gathering, screaming and hollering. Look, all this exerted in when it don't even take all that. It's just simple individual things that you can do that can make a great difference. Stopping the children on the block and just having a 2, 3, 4, 5 minute conversation can get them a direction for that day, the next minute, hour, or potentially their life. Just how serious is your attention in your conversation and the examples that you give in there.
Man, I'm gonna tell you something. It's amazing you say that, man. I'm going to go to tour you with a T. Yeah, I'm gonna circle around. But my wife and I was out Saturday, was riding around. It was going where we was going. Can't remember where we was going. We was going somewhere. And we saw it was about 5, 6, 7 little teenagers. They was walking together, and they was walking through the parking lot. And we was happening to go on that way. So what I did is I pulled up beside them. No, actually, my wife was driving. I said, pull up close to them right there. She said, huh? I said, pull up close to them boys right there. And so we pulled up close to them and everything. I said, I rolled the window. I said, hey, y'all right there, y'all come here. And they looking at each other, and they came up to the car. And I asked them a simple question, man. It didn't have nothing to do with nothing. You know, might have disrupted their day a little bit, but in a good way. Like I said, it was about 5 or 6 of them, 7 of them. And I said, which one of y'all the best in basketball? Man, you should have seen how they just lit up, man. Because of the fact that, you know, somebody, you know, that I came up to them, took time and asked them that question. They started going, oh, I'm the best, man. I'm the best, blah, 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 blah. And I went and I talked to all of them. I said, you know what? I told them, I said, you know, next time I see y'all, man, next time I see y'all, I said, y'all know where Decula Park is? They said, yeah. Next time I see y'all, I want y'all to go to Decula Park. We're going to have a basketball tournament. And whoever wins, I'm going to give you $50. That's nothing. That's nothing. $50 ain't a lot of money. But at the same time, it's a lot to them. And just that somebody would take the time and do something like that, let them go out there and do what they want to do anyway, play basketball, and then have a reward at the end. Man, you know, that to me, that means something. Might not mean nothing to a lot of people, but to me, that really means something. Toy, you would have talk to me.
Oh, yes, sir. Listen, let me tell you something. You hit the nail on the head.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we don't realize what our kids need. You know, we teach our kids one thing, right? Oh, I'm there for you. I'm going to make sure this, I'm going to make sure that. We feed them, we clothe them. But then we wind up focusing our energy on something like work all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And we miss things with them, and we don't teach them things thinking they should already know. And a lot of things wind up slipping through the wayside that we take for granted because it's, oh, I'm working. And when they get older, they'll be like, you know what, mom, dad, you know, you fed me and you clothed me, but you never really did this, that, and the third, right? You never really asked me how my day was. You never really, you know what I'm saying, knew who I was and what I did. You never really let me, you know what I'm saying? And we have a lot of this going on. And you're absolutely right. In this day and age, that's what a lot of these kids need. Listen, I've been out the field a long time. And when I work with these babies at Chipotle, baby, 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 baby. Baby, I cannot ask the same questions. I used to be able to ask questions like, do you take a bath in a dirty bathtub? And the answer today is yes.
Wow.
The answer today is yes. Do you wash dishes in cold water? The answer today, yes. The answer is sometimes the only time some of them do eat or get spoken to nicely is when they come to work. Because this era is different than what we used to. And again, we take these things for granted, thinking everybody else has or does this, and it don't. So when you stop them boys, it's a high probability that if their parents are trying to give them a decent kind of life, they don't talk to them about regular little simple things anymore like we used to. Remember dinner at home? You had to come in, sit down, and you sat down and you talked about what went up. We don't do that. We ain't done that since 1999. You hear me? We in our phones, right?
Yeah.
And not only that, right? Not only that, we have to think about that. Be very careful and selective. People, even if they're young, and who we choose to deal with, because some of them are on such another wicked level, right? That if you don't have an eye for trying to do this kind of service and know who you're dealing with, these young folk will kill you dead trying to set you up because, again, this is a totally different era, and we are breeding totally different types of people in this day and time. Humans are different right now.
Absolutely.
Right?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? So we got to be careful, but the key is, like you said, Raheem, just stop and ask them a question, have a conversation, you know, like we used to. Let's not be so busy doing everything else that we neglected again, stop and smell the roses and saying hello to someone.
Yep, exactly. Exactly. Rico, talk to me, brother.
Yeah, man. You know, there's so many different approaches you could take to having an impact. Pretty much what we're trying to do is have an impact. I try to have a mental impact. You know, I think I was talking a couple of weeks ago about how I had to talk to the little young children that were out there fighting early in the morning. It was still dark before the. I ain't heard all that ruckus anymore, all that cussing and fussing and stuff they was doing. I haven't heard it anymore. Let me know that sometimes people just need a little instruction, and then really and truly let you know if you have to give them that little instruction and that went somewhere with it. There might be a little more instruction, a lot more instruction that needs to be given. So you keep your eyes open about people around in your community. You know, I think I told a story about the guy that had the followers, and we were watching Bamazon, and he said he didn't know gold came from the earth, but all of them had gold in their mouth. He didn't know gold came from the earth, and he had a following. He had a crew of minions behind him that looked up to him and looked at him as somebody as an OG. Somebody that, you know, he had influence on them. He gave them game. Man, he knows something. So, you know, you see little guys sitting around listening to him when he was talking, not just be shaking my head about what they was attracted to. So, you know, I try my best to, you know, step in where I see a need. You know, I don't know if I'll be walking up to somebody and just offering them, you know, to do a basketball tournament, but I think when I do see a need for somebody to be talked to, because I mean, this thing about it, when Toya starts saying that about the people she worked with and those teenagers, sometimes you might get into it on that conversation with them teenagers, and then it turn into a viral moment for them to get disrespectful, and they ain't hearing nothing you saying, even though you got all the kindness and compassion and great intention in the world. The momentum of what sells and what gets them attention right now and what drives them is the fact that they wouldn't take the time to sacrifice the time to listen to what you were saying and pay attention, but to want to take the opportunity to go live and see if they could crack a joke on you. You get what I'm saying? I mean, so, you know, you have to pick and choose, you know, your approach to doing this. You know, I step in when I see there's a need. I won't ignore somebody when there's a need. If I see a teenager that's being picked on and I see now that there's a time that they need to be talked to, I'll talk to them then, but I ain't fixing to stick my neck out on no limb like that, man, because that could turn any kind of way right now. I mean, look, you got people right now that have a platform that are influencers that say that I think all black women ought to abort all black babies. And you got people with a platform right now, this woman that I've been hearing her name recently, she said that she don't bathe every day. Now, I thought I heard it all when I heard women say they didn't bathe, or people say they didn't bathe. All they do is take showers. I'm like, all you do is take showers? You mean to tell me you ain't taking that real good one? Y'all going back to this European thoughts process. But now it has evolved to somebody saying that they don't take baths every day. So, I mean, you know, these are the people that exist that it's hard to reach them because they're grown people that's learning, and they might ridicule you for even saying some of the things that they should know. But those young ones, if you can find a way to reach those young ones and give them some of this wisdom, basic wisdom about even brushing your teeth every day. You know, just so many small things that, you know, you'd be surprised that the things that's missing and that really we can impact them. And it doesn't even take money or reward. It just takes, you know, positive reinforcement, positive information, something that'll help them. You know, putting on deodorant. You know, sometimes you have to tell little boys, hey, man, you kicking up on them arms a little bit, man. You need to put on some deodorant every day. Them girls going to start picking with you when you get big. Then nobody tell them that. They just running around musky. You the one got to tell them, you know, hey, man, when you get a little bit older, you run around here smelling like that, you might get picked on. So, I mean, you know, just have a positive impact. It doesn't take much. You know, I don't know if I'm going to be able to go and record and put my arm around somebody and say, hey, y'all, this is who I'm mentoring. Because I do so much of this to the point where I spend all day recording. Hey, y'all, I'm giving them advice. Hey, y'all, I'm helping them out now. I can't do it, you know, but just making an impact, man. Having a positive impact is needed in all aspects of life.
Well, and I'm gonna ask you this quick question, Rico. Then we're gonna move on. Cause I'm gonna put everybody else in. We got just a few more minutes left. How do you feel about the I Stand With You challenge in comparison to some of the other challenges that you've seen out there?
Oh man, yeah, it's a purpose behind it. It's not recreation. See, these rest of these challenges are recreation. But how about a challenge to sacrifice some of the things that you just want to overindulge or overcompensate or overconsume, and give back to something that's really needing some attention? So, you know, I stand with you. So many other challenges that we can have. How about our go vote challenge? You know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
So there's so many different challenges we can have that can have a positive impact. It ain't got nothing to do with you getting some attention.
Exactly. Cap, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
Well, I'm in total agreement with my brother Rico. I mean, you know, if you're doing this every day, this is what you do. Again, I'm gonna reinforce it. Says, how can they know unless they be taught? And how can they be taught unless they have a teacher?
Yes.
And how can they have a teacher unless one be sent? So each one must teach one. And I like that challenge. I love the challenge, brother Raheem. This Saturday, I was able to do, because of your challenge, we gave away over 60 $40 gift cards through 2020. Food gift cards to a area project. It was called Regency Project, called the worst area in Flint, Michigan. It's called Regency Townhouse. So I had my peacekeepers to do. I got them on the phone after we started planning this. And so I wasn't able to be there, but I was able to look at it from Facebook Live. And I'm looking at it. I see we giving out these cards. I'm looking at the audience. And I see this young man, he keeps getting up and going because he has some refreshment to the side. So I'm looking at this on Facebook, but I'm communicating with the speaker from my cell phone. So I text him, I said, tell them you have the founder coming on and put the speaker to the cell phone so I can talk to the audience. So they said, so I'm looking at him, okay, so the guy who's my peacekeeper here, he said, well, it's good, we got the founder on the phone and he'd like to speak to y'all. So I was able to talk to that crowd, but there was a young man. And I said to the young man, I said, that young man right there in the orange, right there. And everybody looked around. I said, when grown people are talking, you don't disrespect them, young man. You kept I'm looking at you. Show some respect. I said, but I want to get you to become a peacekeeper. Because he don't know he was disrespecting, getting up disturbing.
Yeah.
And we gave over 60. We gave over 60 turkey food gift cards. And then we gave out, there was 20. We took the drawing, there was 20. And then because we had some extra, we gave them another one, so they got $40. The people was excited because now you can leave there, whether you get your butterball, whether you get you some cranberry, I don't care. Get you some napkins or toilet paper. But the bottom line is, because you said that, I targeted that young man, and I said to him, I'm going to give him a hoodie, and when I come in the plant, I'm going to get with this young man. Because what you said,
yes, sir.
I'm going to catch this young man. He didn't know better. Kept getting up. But I like what Rico, see, they don't know. I used to teach the minister, I used to have the brother, I said, listen, brothers, when you go to the bathroom and you defecate, take a wet toilet paper and wipe your behind. Now we got these baby wipes, which is cool. Because most of these young boys don't even know how to wipe their behind, man.
Yeah.
They look up there and they got skid marks. Nobody never told them.
Yeah,
exactly. What do you mean to get you and wipe it? Because all that falls into your underwear, and that's where you get that smell. I told a young man, he called me up, man, years ago. Man, I didn't even know that. Ever since you said that, that's what I do. They just don't know better. If you teach them, they would do better. Thank you for the challenge, dear brother. No, we don't all have to video. I hear brother Rico, we don't have to video. Just do it,
Yeah.
I want to take a project of what brother said and have these young men say, I want to thank Raheem with this challenge. Captain Muhammad has been mentoring me. It don't take a whole lot.
Yes, sir.
It don't take a whole lot. And the women can do the same, because especially young girls need this kind of mentorship. Thank you, brother. That's all I have to say.
Good deal. Leonard, what's on your heart? Appreciate that, Cap. Leonard, what's on your heart, brother?
I'm just listening. Everybody is probably doing these types of things already. Just telling them to keep doing them is what's best. But there are lots of organizations and things like that are built specifically to do these types of things. And people need to get involved with that. One of the places, if you say you're a Christian and you have a association with the church, I'm sure you should be doing these types of things. through your church. There's lots of ways and different ways to do things.
Mm-hmm.
As long as you're doing them out of the goodness of your heart,
absolutely,
I think is what is best.
Absolutely, absolutely. Good deal. Badger, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me. Cassandra, coming to you next.
You know, and that's what works for one person isn't going to work for everybody else. There are going to be people that can click because the same things work for them. A lot of people don't click with me because of the depth of thinking that I do. And my other ideologies. And that's just part of human nature. I'm a huge believer that a lot of times we may be born to a family, but that doesn't mean they are our family.
Mm-hmm.
The only consistency is the earth provides and we are the caretakers.
Mm-hmm.
That's a consistent. That is a truth.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's our responsibility of how we receive or handle it.
Absolutely.
And not everyone is on the same path, and there's so many variables to these kinds of things. And to me, the biggest thing is the people that are willing to put in the effort to work hard, to either do things for free or to do things to help other people and things like that. People treat them like trash.
Mm-hmm.
People treat them like crap. They will say that they're harmful to the industry, da 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 da, and that's an unfortunate truth. People would rather worship money than even give half of a benefit for someone that's willing to work themselves to the bone to provide things for other people.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, those people are just stepped on, walked on, or either killed because they're harming, in quotations, the industry.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
But
wow.
not a lot of people talk about that side.
Mm-hmm. Good deal. Cassandra, what's on your heart? Pete, coming to you next, brother.
I love what Cap said about the young people and how he corrected the young man, for his behavior.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't give them instruction, and I'm big on that, I'll say something and people are like, girl, you can't say nothing to these young kids. Well, those are our kids. Those are our children.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, and if we don't correct them, who's going to do it?
Exactly.
You think, you understand what I'm saying? You think the white people that are sitting on those trains or buses and they cussing and, acting a fool, you think they're going to say something to them? No, they're terrified.
Mm-hmm.
And then now you got a lot of black people. We're scared of our own children. I refuse to be afraid of my own children.
Mm-hmm.
Even when they're acting a fool, I'm going to say something. And, they may cuss me out. I ain't never had one to cuss me out that I've corrected, but they may cuss me out. But guess what? They're going to say, well, dang, that old lady, she showed, she said something. At least she talked to us. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I think we have to get out of the place where we're afraid to confront what's wrong. Mm-hmm. Everybody say we need change, but ain't nobody want to do nothing.
Exactly.
It don't work like that.
Exactly. Pete, what's on your heart, brother? Talk to me.
Well, just encouraging everybody to hear the call and do what you can.
Mm-hmm.
If you know somebody that can do something, make them aware of the call. Just in your passing moments throughout your day, if you can be effective, you can intervene, intercede, have a good word to say, then do that.
Yeah.
By love and kindness have I drawn thee.
Come on.
So let's use some love and some kindness, and let's see what we can draw to love and kindness through love and kindness.
Mm-hmm.
How about that?
That's it. Ibrahim, talk to me, brother. What's on your heart? Talk to me.
Well,
Can't hear you, Ibrahim. Your phone is real low. Can't hear you.
Oh, well, y'all said pretty much everything. The only thing I was talking to some people, and they were asking me, well, what are the standards? How do you, what is good to teach?
Mm-hmm.
Do we need to talk to? Do we need to teach the parents? The people who raised them are responsible for You know what I mean? Yeah, that's just about it. Other than that, of course, I stand with you. I post it. You know what I mean?
Yes,
and,
sir.
As usual, I'll do my thing the best way I can.
Absolutely. Appreciate that too, brother. Definitely appreciate it. Well,
Good morning, Raheem. Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Good morning. How you doing this morning?
I am, in spite of all what I went through this morning, I am doing awesome. I'm doing awesome.
There you go. There you go. We talking about. I don't know if you was on when I played the video about I think you might have saw it Monday, Friday when we played it. But I Stand For You challenge. What do you think about that I Stand For You challenge?
Well, I'm all in, Raheem. I'm all in. Even before you made the video, because I'm just like Cassandra. I don't think that I have the responsibility as a parent to correct someone, whether they're my child or somebody else's, that when they're out of order or not doing right, to say something. And I know some people have gotten that fear with them but it's all in the way you deliver. You just think about delivering, calling that young man. He feels authoritative then when you say young man instead of saying a boy. So once we get ourselves together, then I believe the world will be a whole lot better. Mentoring men and women, young men, young women to do better. We can't change the whole world, but we can change a few, and it dominoes on down. So that's what's on my heart, Raheem.
Good deal.
We could we could be better as people if we make the decision to examine ourselves, look at ourselves, change that, and then add it to the world. That's what. And good morning, Glow. Sorry, I'm so late this
Good morning. Good morning, sister. Good to have you. Definitely good to have you. We're actually about to get on out of here for today, but I'm gonna tell y'all something. I want each and every one of y'all, man, that can join us tomorrow. Join us early. We got a topic I'm gonna talk about today. I didn't get to that topic today. We're gonna talk about that topic tomorrow. I'm not gonna tell you what it is, but I know each and every one of y'all gonna absolutely love it. Y'all gonna absolutely love the topic tomorrow. But right now, I gotta go to Rico. Rico, what's going on at 3:00 today, sir?
If you missed today's broadcast and would like to hear us see the rebroadcast in its entirety, you can tune in at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on www.dkmmediagroup.com.
Good deal. Good deal. Rico, she is here, right? She here? That joker happy. Look at that joker happy right there, boy. Willow!
Come on, Raheem. Let's go, Raheem. Come on, let's go.
Well, I gotta ask you, are you ready though, Willow? Are you ready?
Raheem?
Yes.
I am so ready to receive his words this morning. You just don't know. I am ready, Raheem. Let's go.
Well, you know what?
Let's go, Raheem.
I ain't got one more thing to say. Let's go.
Come on, y'all. I need all of y'all to go to the throne of grace with me this morning. I need us to have a humble heart and a bowed down head. Father, I thank you so much for waking us up this morning, giving us another opportunity to get it right with you. The enemy tried to change things this morning, but I bind him on every hand. The devil is a lie. You said it in your word that no weapon formed against us will prosper, and we believe that and stand on your words this morning, Lord. Father, we thank you so much for what you do, the protection, the guidance, the knowledge, your instructions, and lining us up with your will. I thank you so much, Lord. The enemy tries to show us a different picture, but I tell you, I decree your victory on Calvary. I thank you, Lord, for dying on the cross, being lifted up, so I may have the redemption and reconciliation back to my Father. I thank you, Lord. Touch DKM Media Radio 1.1 and Raheem and his show. Thank you for the success. We know, Lord, that it's not anything that we do, but Lord, we know that it's the power that you give us each and every day, Lord. We thank you, we honor you, we praise you, and we glorify you in Jesus' name. Amen, amen, and amen. We thank you. you, Lord. Hallelujah and glory to God. Thank you, Jesus. Oh, Lord, I thank you.
There it is. There it is. Only thing I can do now is say, look here, it is now 10:02. I want to thank everybody for joining us. And more than that, I want to go ahead, Rico.
Before you leave, I'm gonna give you a piece of advice with you. When you had a tournament with them boys. You want to give some good advice, some good piece of wisdom, tell them to listen to their elders. And if they ever see them cows laying down and they like to fish, don't go fishing. You learn the hard way. Tell them they ain't got to learn the hard way. You already went through it.
Look at you wasted time, your money on all this tackle and everything, man. All that stuff was just wasted. That's it. That's it. But listen, I want to thank everybody for joining us. More than that, I want to thank you for allowing DK, Media Group, and Associates, and the Morning Glow for being a part of your morning. It is now 10:03. You're about to exit the Morning Glow. But before you go, I want you to do me two favors, if you will. One, I want you to continue to pray for us because we're certainly praying for each and every one of you. Number two, why this is real simple. I want you to go out there, find somebody and give them a hug because you never know. It could be the only hug that they get, or it could very well be their last. Love you, and ain't nothing you can do about it. Have a great day and a better tomorrow. Now we shine some of this light on you from the Morning Glow. Take it out there into this wicked and cruel world that we live in and let your light so shine. If you get an opportunity, give somebody some love. You just might find some love in return. Won't that be a beautiful thing? Have a great day. Take care of each other. And please, please, please be blessed. See you tomorrow. God say the same. Have a great day. Love you and love each other.